around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 77 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A new manufacturing facility is opening in Bay County. SK Siltron CSS, which makes semiconductor wafers from silicon carbide for use in electric vehicles, has plans to build a $300 million facility in Bay City. The company already owns and operates a facility in Auburn. The new plant is expected to generate an additional 150 jobs over the next 3 years, with 70% being skilled workers and 30% professional engineers. Around 130 workers are currently employed at the Auburn sites. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has announced the appointments of Vanessa Guerra and Carl Williams to the Saginaw Valley State University Board of Control. Here's WSGW's Ric Antonio.
Both have been appointed for 8-year terms and will aid in general supervision of the school and the direction of expenditures. Guerra currently serves as Saginaw County Clerk, previously filling roles as State Representative for the 95th District and as a trustee with Bridgeport Township. Williams is Vice President of the NAACP Saginaw Chapter and has also served as Representative for the 95th District, as well as PR Manager for the Michigan Prisoner Reentry Initiative and as Saginaw City Council Mayor Pro Tem. In addition to the SVSU Board, Governor Whitmer also named new appointments to the Unemployment Insurance Appeals Commission and the Workers' Disability Compensation Appeals Commission. Guerra and Williams replaced John Kunitzer and Dennis Durko, who have completed their own 8-year terms. Ric Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
One person was treated for injuries following a carbon dioxide leak at the Midland Costco. The leak was discovered in the store's refrigeration system, leading Midland Fire Department officials to evacuate employees just after noon on Tuesday. Firefighters dressed in full hazardous material suits and contained breathing systems before entering the store to turn off the carbon dioxide refrigeration system and began ventilation. One employee who complained of feeling sick was treated and released at the scene by Mid-Michigan Medical Center staff. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
What if I told you you could save 50% off your monthly cell phone bill without sacrificing your service? This is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, and I'm talking about H2O Wireless. If you're with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, you're just paying too much. Listen to this. You can get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. That means the average person is probably saving $400 a year. You might use that to fund your emergency reserve fund or pay down some credit card bills or put some money in your retirement plan. And switching is so easy. You can keep your phone, keep your number. You just have to swap out your SIM card. You get the same great service you currently have, but at half the price. Right now, you can save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. That's pound 250 and say keyword get H2O to start saving today.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A judge has ordered the University of Michigan to fill a public records request and release pay information for employees in an office dedicated to diversity and equal opportunity. Judge Elizabeth Gleicher says the public disclosure of pay, bonus, and overtime fits the goal of the state's open records law. The Mackinac Center for Public Policy sued the university after officials wouldn't disclose all compensation details for employees in the Office of Institutional Equity. The university cited privacy exemptions and other reasons for withholding details about overtime and bonus. Gleicher said at the Court of Claims that those defenses don't fit. Little to no change last month in Michigan's unemployment rate following the lifting of the pandemic restrictions. Jim Matthews with Michigan News Network reports.
The Michigan unemployment rate has been near 5% for 5 consecutive months, and payroll job counts in June were similar to levels in March. That's from the state's Department of Technology, Management, and Budget, saying employment edged up by 9,000 over the month while the number of unemployed was unchanged. Of course, unemployment rates were very high a year ago as the pandemic emerged. But since June of 2020, the U.S. rate decreased by 5.2 percentage points, while Michigan's rate fell by 9.1 percentage points. Officials say despite significant improvements in labor market conditions in Michigan over the last year, labor market indicators in June had not recovered to pre-pandemic levels. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It is 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Showers and storms in the area. Highs will top out 84 degrees. Winds turn to the west and becomes increasing to 10 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight it remains mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 66. West winds diminish to 5 to 10. Friday still mostly cloudy. Chance for showers developing. Highs make it into the middle 70s. And then Friday night, shower chances continue mainly before midnight, then gradual clearing, and lows fall back to 62. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 75.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning, everybody, to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. I'm Pat Johnston, filling in for Mr. Lewis today, who is once again working at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational Golf Tournament that is taking place at the Midland Country Club, that LPGA team event. So he is there. He's been there all week, and the tournament got started yesterday with round one. Round two is already teed off, and that will continue through Saturday. So I am here until the 10 o'clock hour, and then, you know what? I've been on the air since 5 o'clock. I'm just going to go and take a little break at 10 o'clock and turn things over to Ric Antonio, who will be speaking with Joey Battaino from the Saginaw Spirit at 10 o'clock. And then I'll be back to host the Focus program. And this week, or later on today, we will talk with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. Looking forward to talking to Ken during the Focus program. But for this hour, I'm going to keep the lines open, if you don't mind, and you can talk whatever you would like to talk about, and maybe we can have a discussion or two and bring others into the discussion as well. 752-6111 is the phone number. That's 752-6111. I will give that phone number out one more time because I'm that generous. 752-6111. A tough time, by the way, for a sports fanatic like me because, no baseball, no Tigers baseball. I mean, yeah, there was the All-Star game, but really not much going on. Although it's nice to have the golf to watch, like the LPGA event happening there up in Midland, and also the British Open. It didn't have the British Open last year because of COVID. We've got the British Open again, and there's nothing like waking up on a Saturday and Sunday morning around 6 o'clock in the morning. You can just turn on, and there they are. They're in the middle of a golf tournament overseas. That's kind of cool. All right, anyways, the phone lines again, 752-6111. And by the way, thanks to Rick, he made sure that I am indeed streaming, so you can see me in the studio. I'm wearing my Central Michigan alumni shirt, by the way. Very nice, snazzy. And you can see me on our Facebook page, our Twitter page. You can see us on Twitch and also YouTube. All right, so it looks like we do have callers lined up to go here, so let's talk to, I think it's Mark from Cucullin. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. What's going on?
Hey, looking to get your thoughts on something. I'm not much of a churchgoer. I usually show up for weddings and funerals. However, my thinking might be changing. In Ohio, they have a mural that was erected, and everybody was worshiping a gentleman named George Floyd. However, a year almost to this date, lightning struck it and came tumbling down. What's your thoughts on God is good?
What are you asking?
Well, do you believe in miracles can happen and a wall come crumbling down, and they shouldn't have maybe erected somebody that was, let's say the military person. I'd like to see statues erected of people that fall on grenades or been really wounded, as opposed to somebody that is not with the law, is kind of against the law. We went and Pelosi said that he sacrificed himself so that to open our eyes, basically, to Black Lives Matter. I just don't think that we should be erecting statues and murals of this individual. I was looking to get your thoughts on that.
Well, I guess my question is, what did George Floyd do wrong that you are so...
Well, he was passing the fake 20, and in his track record prior to being arrested, it wasn't the utmost as far as his character. And I just think the military, the people that sacrifice themselves and give their lives, is more important than somebody of that character.
So somebody who passed a fake $20 bill is dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have. Yeah, the police officer
is that the right punishment that should have happened for him? Is passing a fake $20 bill is to be killed?
Nope, neither should the guy that landed on a grenade to protect the Americans that are out there fighting the wars. However, we don't put monuments and statues up in their name.
Well, we don't put monuments. We don't put monuments and statues up of teachers too, who raised our nation's children. Maybe we should thank them too, and all that.
Absolutely.
Let's erect statues instead of erecting statues of sports figures. Maybe we should do that.
Why not? Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
No, I don't. I guess I don't. Mark, I guess I don't understand what you are. I don't understand what's troubling you about that George Floyd mural. I don't understand what was upsetting you about that statue.
Bad behavior. I just think we promoted bad behavior, and it's ripped through the.
Who's bad behavior?
George Floyd.
Not the police. Not the police officer.
Well, he's still in jail. Yeah, he's in jail.
Right.
So
did George Floyd not represent, thanks to somebody who actually turned on their cell phone, did he not represent what many in the black community were complaining about for decades upon decades upon decades?
Oh, yeah, there's bad police officers out there, absolutely.
Right.
And it works on both sides. White people have been assaulted by police officers as well.
Oh, I don't disagree.
Not just one individual.
Don't disagree.
However, somebody that's been on fentanyl and somebody that is passing.
But so you seem more upset. You seem more upset that it's about. You keep focusing on him. You're not really focusing on Chauvin, the police officer who killed him. He was the one who was convicted of murder. He's the one. He's the bad guy, right? And George.
Did he put himself? I understand he's in jail for the crime he did. However, Floyd put himself in that position. How come we can't look at him putting himself in that position?
Right.
What's that?
Right. Having somebody's have somebody's knee on his neck for 9 minutes, and and then we saw that the Minneapolis police in their press release of that of George Floyd's death said that he died of medical conditions, not because of the knee on the neck. I'm trying to tell you here, Mark, that I'm not getting what you're mad about.
Well, I'm not that I'm mad. I'm just concerned that we prop up people that aren't above law-abiding citizens out there, and they put themselves in situations in harm's way, and then we're supposed to fawn and feel sorry for individuals that do harm unto themselves and to other people. And this guy wasn't the utmost in society as far as somebody that you'd want your kids and everybody to look up to, but we erect a statue and murals of this guy, and I just don't think he has a track record to warrant that type of exposure. And I don't think the police officer that did what he did deserves any type of exposure. He's in jail for what he did.
Are you happy?
And unfortunately, George.
Are you happy that in Charlottesville that they took down the Robert E. Lee statue the other day?
Well, I think it's a great idea that they put a warehouse or a museum.
I'm fine with that too.
That way,
yeah.
That way you don't have to drive around looking. You can it's a one-stop shop, and you can even put audio to the statues if it's in an enclosure. So I think that's a great idea. Hey, things change. People change and evolve.
I agree. I don't know. I just think that for many, George Floyd, he's a symbol, and I think everybody. I don't think anybody says he was perfect, and I would love to meet that perfect individual. I don't know that perfect individual. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I don't know that perfect individual.
Well, his family got paid $25 million. Are they going to do anything for Black Lives Matter, do you think, with that money?
No idea. I have no idea, Mark. I have no idea what they're going to do with that money. I'm not sure. Maybe help take care of his daughter.
In my opinion, I still think it's great that lightning hit that mural and it's been brought down. I'm sure it's going to get erected in a different part of town or what have you. But judgment was made on that.
Mark, we'll leave it there. Have yourself a good one, my friend.
You as well.
All right, take care. It is 9:20 here at WSGW. Let's move on and talk to Tom in Linwood. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Much less controversial than your first call. Mine, interesting call, by the way. You handled it well.
Thanks.
Mine is more of an awareness thing. I've been looking around, and I see vines hanging on trees everywhere in Michigan, all up and down 75, drive through the Bay City State Park and look at their trees once. I've lived here all my life, and I'm concerned that these vines are basically killing our outdoor life in Michigan. So just putting a word out there, if you see vines and it's within your property or whatever, please take a hatchet, cut those things. I'm afraid we're going to lose so many of our beautiful trees in this state.
Tom,
those vines are invasive and they're taking over.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I can't believe you brought this up. About a week and a half ago, I spent 3 hours doing my best to try to chop down all these vines that are growing up our pine trees and around our garden and around our back shed that's coming from my neighbor's his backyard. I spent so much time pulling, and you're right. They're damaging. That's what they do. They cause damage.
Oh, yeah, they're dropping. I put a garden in this spring for my wife, and no vines in my yard, but there's vines in a wooded lot next door. Yet I found literally 3-inch vines coming across my yard looking for a place to pop up.
Right.
They live basically underground. What you see above ground is kind of almost like their root system. And, yeah, I'm just concerned. It's a beautiful state we have, and, gosh, we got trees coming down everywhere because of these vines.
I want to say this, that if you are somebody who likes to have some vines around, I think it's up to you. It's your responsibility to keep them in check and not have them go to your neighbor's yard. That's my PSA of the day. Hey, Tom, thank you so much.
Just hoping, thank you so much, and good job on that first call.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Have a good one.
All right, sir. Take care.
Yes, sir. 752-6111, 752-6111. That is the phone number to give me a call. If you'd like to give me an email, very simple. That's Pat at WSGW.com. I got a few emails from yesterday's show, guys. I've not been able to get to it yet since I was hosting first thing this morning. Actually, I rolled in here at 3:15 sorry, that's not this morning. That's overnight still. So I was here because I was filling in for Charlie here on the morning team show. So I'll get to your emails later on today. I do promise you that. But again, if you'd like to email me, Pat at WSGW.com. But give me a call. We'll continue the open line show here for this hour until 10 o'clock, 752-6111. We will take a quick break and be back with more after these words.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Enjoy a powerful business upgrade with Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event. Get amazing savings with up to 50% off high-performance computers and tech built for business, and be able to take your office with you with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, get great offers on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL, and speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest jobless claims numbers show 360,000 claims, a new pandemic low, and a decrease of 26,000 from the previous week's revised level. It's in line with Wall Street expectations. United Health Group boosted its full-year outlook for a second time this year after a surprisingly strong second quarter despite sustained elevated spending tied to the pandemic. The largest U.S. health insurer earned $4.27 billion, better than Wall Street projections. Morgan Stanley reports second quarter profit of $3.51 billion, surpassing Wall Street expectations. Johnson & Johnson is recalling 5 of its sunscreen products packaged in aerosol cans after some samples were found to contain low levels of benzene, a chemical that can cause cancer with repeated exposure. And GM is telling owners of some older Chevrolet Bolts to park them outdoors and not to charge them overnight because 2 of the electric cars caught fire. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal Giangrasso, invested in you.
Leading members of Congress claim that America's military is under attack from the woke far left, and they say top generals are ignoring the threat. Now, Grant Stinchfield exposes the real dangers tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. Millions are tuning into Newsmax and Stinchfield. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. If your cable operator doesn't carry it, call them. Tell them you want it, or you can switch. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching now. Newsmax is real news. Watch it today.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
What if I told you you could save 50% off your monthly cell phone bill without sacrificing your service? This is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, and I'm talking about H2O Wireless. If you're with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, you're just paying too much. Listen to this. You can get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. That means the average person is probably saving $400 a year. You might use that to fund your emergency reserve fund or pay down some credit card bills or put some money in your retirement plan. And you know, switching is so easy. You can keep your phone, keep your number. You just have to swap out your SIM card. You get the same great service you currently have, but at half the price. Right now, you can save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. That's pound 250 and say keyword get H2O to start saving today.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, it is 9:28 here at WSGW's The Art Lewis Show. Pat Johnston in for Mr. Lewis here. Until 10 o'clock, Ric Antonio takes over at 10. And I'll also be hosting the first hour of our show tomorrow. I think I will have a guest on for the first segment, and then the rest will be you and I. We'll continue discussion. I'm thinking about what I was talking about there with Mark, and he seems very, very happy that the George Floyd statue was struck by lightning in, I think he said in Ohio somewhere. I said I wasn't really getting the anger, and I think he was alluding that well, he wasn't a perfect guy. Well, like I said, nobody. I like to meet perfection. I don't care if he drank a fifth of vodka. I don't care if he smoked lots of marijuana. I don't care if he did other things that did not warrant him to die the way that he died. So I'm not understanding the anger directed at him. And again, I'd like to meet the perfect person in the world. I haven't met them yet. I don't know. Maybe you have, but I have not. I've met some people who are nice, who are kind, considerate, compassionate, but not perfect. I've not met that perfect person yet. Maybe you guys have, but I have not. Let's go back to the phone lines. By the way, 752-6111. That's 752-6111. And let's talk to Carol in Sheridan. Hey, Carol, what's going on?
Well, this tree bit, I've been a tree hugger ever since I could remember. and my grandpa, which died in 76, he learned his trees in kindergarten. That's what they taught back then, was the trees. But people must be careful because a lot of these vines are Virginia creeper, but a lot of it is poison ivy.
Oh, right.
So be really, really careful, and do not burn it or get in the smoke of poison ivy. It can be really, really bad on your lungs. So
okay.
If they're chopping them down, 3 leaves, let it be.
3 leaves? Okay.
3 leaves, let it be if they're pretty shiny leaves. But poison ivy, they say, is going to kill us all because it's just taking over the world, and there's more poison ivy than ever. It breathes different than our regular plants do. And another thing in Michigan is oak wilt. And oak wilt is much like Dutch elm disease, but it only has one carrier. Dutch elm disease has 2 carriers. And do not ever prune oak trees from April 15th through July 15th. That's if you're pruning oaks. And the oak wilt goes from the roots touch each other. So like in the woods or by a driveway and you've got an oak touching another oak tree, the roots, and then that's the carrier of it. So if you hack into an oak, 300 feet away and its root touches these others, it can be carried. So there's a lot. And there's also now going, it's been done for years, there is a biggest tree in Michigan, and I think it goes by each counties. I tried to find the article, but I'm sure these people with computers can find it. But they have a contest like every year to find the biggest tree, I think, in each county.
Oh, okay.
And so that would be fun for kids, or if they're riding around to look at it. There's different rules to it. But
maybe we'll have to try to find some experts out there on how to get rid of these vines and be careful about the poison ivy too.
Well, the poison ivy, what I use on it, seeing that they got rid of the cooking show that I absolutely loved and everybody did, if you take 2 quarts of cider vinegar and then you put in a 1/4 cup of salt, or you can put more in it to hold it, in a little dish soap, and you spray that on poison ivy. Now, you've got to do it more than once. I mean, I just keep a jug, and when you see it, spray it on it. But that will kind of do in poison ivy because the roots just keep coming and coming and coming, and any little tiny piece of root. But that does help quite a bit without being poison, because I don't usually poison anything. So.
Right, and you said and don't burn it either, right? Is that what you said?
No, never. If that gets into your lungs, I mean, it can almost kill you. It spreads in poison ivy. And if you do think you've been in poison ivy, come in the house within 10-15 minutes and wash really, really good with felt naphtha soap.
Okay.
And that will take, they say dish soap works, but felt naphtha works better, and that will take, it's like ursenic acid in poison ivy that makes you itch, but I just keep a bar, and whenever I am outdoors, I just come in and scrub up a felt naphtha, and then you won't get poison ivy.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you so much there, Carol. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You guys
Right.
take care.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have to admit, did not think that when we started the show we were going to be talking about vines that are destroying Michigan's trees, but it is true. It is true, and I'm, like I said, I'm dealing with that just in my backyard, and of course, poison ivy there. That not poison ivy, but Carol's warning everybody about poison ivy, and I'm sorry, Carol, but you talking about this, I could not get this song out of my head at all.
She comes on like a rose, but everybody knows she'll get you in touch. You can look, but you better not touch. Poison ivy, poison ivy.
The Coasters classic there with Poison Ivy. We're going to take a break here. 752-6111, 752-6111. That is the number to give me a call here, as we'll keep the lines open for another 25 minutes or so before I turn things over to Ric Antonio at 10 o'clock here. You're listening to The Art Lewis Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. And by the way, Art Show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all your residential and commercial realty needs, call Pinnacle Realty at 989-295-3900. Back with more right after these words.
Art Lewis here for Thalen Honda. As you probably know, a semiconductor microchip shortage has affected auto manufacturers across the nation. New vehicles are in very short supply for nearly all makes and models. But Thalen Honda has a limited supply of new vehicles ready for delivery with 0% financing on select 2021 models. Terms and conditions apply. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V, Passport, and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News & World Report, and 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety rating. Thalen Honda has new and used vehicles in stock and ready for sale, with new vehicles arriving every week. Stop into Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City to look over their inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle of your choice, then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative to see how easy it is to make it yours. The Thalen family, in their third generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years.
Enjoy a powerful business upgrade with Dell Technologies Black Friday and July event. Get amazing savings with up to 50% off high-performance computers and tech built for business, and be able to take your office with you with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, get great offers on Dell servers, monitors, docks, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL, and speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today.
I'm Dinesh D'Souza. In April alone, consumer prices increased by 4.2%, the highest bump since 2008. Higher fuel prices, higher food prices, construction costs, housing prices. Inflation isn't just coming, it's here. Have you protected your savings, your investments? If you have not yet diversified a portion into precious metals, the answer is no. Birch Gold Group is who I purchase from and who you can trust to convert an IRA or eligible 401k into an IRA backed by gold and silver. That's right. Through a little-known tax loophole, you can convert your retirement savings tied to the stock market into an IRA backed by precious metals. It's your hedge against inflation. With 10,000 customers, an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and countless 5-star reviews, Birch Gold can help you too. Get a free information kit by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Again, text PROTECT to 989898 before it's too late.
The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun at Saginaw Celebrates Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor Group. Saginaw Celebrates Summer is a great way to experience the vibrancy and diversity of the community while enjoying the many events, activities, and traditions the city has to offer. Animal amphitheater shows, tea ceremonies, festivals, concerts and virtual events, art fairs, museum visits, and much more. Saginaw Celebrates Summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. For a weekly list of activities, follow Saginaw Celebrates Summer on Facebook and Instagram at Arts Saginaw. And for daily updates on all the action, keep listening to WSGW.
Hello, this is Carol Thomas, and I practice elder law. And I'm very excited to tell you about my upcoming seminars, which will be next Wednesday, July 21st at Apple Mountain. They're actually going to be ice cream socials. I had my first ice cream social a year ago, what was a huge success, so we decided to do a second ice cream social, which we actually are presenting next Wednesday. But what's very exciting about this, I also have invited a band. The band will be performing from 10 to 11. I will be speaking at 11 o'clock, and then we'll have a repeat performance in the afternoon where the band will play from 1 to 2 and I'll speak at 2 o'clock. It's going to be the Brush Street Band featuring Julie Melati, and they are fabulous and they play music from my generation. So it should be a fun day to learn a lot of information as far as wills and trusts and how I can protect assets for people. But it's also like welcome back. Art Lewis will be broadcasting from Apple Mountain that morning. So we will see you next Wednesday at Apple Mountain, but reservations are required. So please call my office at 793-2300.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
9:39 here at WSGW. That is the Art Lewis Show, which you can hear on both 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. I just feel wrong interrupting Bob Skaggs here. Oh, yeah. You can also listen to us online at WSGW.com. I'm also on camera. You can see me right now on our YouTube page and also, yes, and also on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch as well. I have to visit Twitch. I haven't really been there a whole lot. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. This is an open line edition. I'll keep them open for another 20 minutes here until the top of the hour. 752-6111. That's 752-6111. Let's talk with Dave in Shields. What's going on, Dave?
Good morning, Pat. How you doing?
Hanging in there. Yourself?
Oh, fine. No, the gal just called in talking about vines, poison ivy, sumac, things of that nature. I found a product that I use, and it works excellent to kill the roots.
Okay.
It's called Tordon, Tordon. And you go out, what you do, you just cut it at the ground level. You take the Tordon, you put it in a spray bottle, you just spray it on the end you cut. You have to do it within 24 hours. Completely kills the root. It won't grow back. And I found the product at the elevator in Hemlock, but I've been using it for a few years. It works excellent. Same way if you have this brush you like to cut down, but it keeps growing. Cut the brush down, spray it on the part that's left. That's the end of it. It goes right to the root, and it kills it. But you have to spray it within 24 hours.
Within of when you've cut it? Is that what you're saying?
When you cut it, right. You cut it, and you have to spray it within 24 hours where you cut it. And what it does, it goes right down to the root and kills it completely. So if you got a vine issue that grows, you cut it off, and it continues to grow. It's because you didn't kill the root. But with this product, you cut it, you spray it, that's the end of it.
Oh, that's outstanding. And it's called Tordon, Tordon.
Right. I found it at Hemlock at the elevator.
At the elevator.
I don't know who else carries it. Yep, it comes in a quart bottle. You put it in a spray bottle. Be careful where you're spraying it, though. If you spray it on something you don't want to die, well, you're out of luck.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's that powerful. All right. Hemlock elevator. And was it pretty expensive?
Oh, I can't remember. Maybe $10, $12.
Oh, that's okay.
Like that.
No, that's
but
okay.
It just takes a little bit. Some of that brush comes up. It's only an inch in diameter. You cut it down. Then the next year you go back there and you got the shoots coming up again. Well, if you spray this on it, that's the end of it.
Okay, all right. Hey, no, thank you, because I'm pulling vines out seems like every spring and during the summertime. So, perfect.
Yeah,
hey,
get some of that product. Yep, try that.
I will.
Sure that'll take care of it for you. Okay.
All right, Dave. Thank you so very much.
Yep.
All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day.
You too. All right. It is 9:41 here on WSGW. As Art Lewis says many times, you never know where the open line show is going to go, and we're talking about the vines. And who was that? It was Tom, right, who called in and talked about how the vines are destroying trees across the state. And hey, I can't argue with that because that's happening in my own backyard. So Tordon, Tordon, and he says you can get that at the Hemlock elevator. All right, I'm going to have to check that out because I drive through Hemlock each and every day since I live out in Alma, so I will have to check that out. It is 9:42 here at WSGW. I meant to mention this during the morning team show, but I'll just throw it out there. But I'm sure many of you have already done your driving here this morning, probably already saw, and we already had the story posted up on WSGW.com, but the Michigan Department of Transportation closed M46, also known as Gratiot, in the city of Saginaw from Center Road to Michigan Avenue for emergency water main repairs. The closure is expected to be in place until at least Friday. So at least one more day, drivers should follow the posted detour signs. I was a little worried as I was driving because I always take 46 on out here and then take Center up to Tittabawassee, and I was nervous because I saw all these arrows and these barrels everywhere, and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to get because they're working on Center Avenue too, but I was able to turn left, and that was good. So it didn't affect me. That's what I'm trying to say. I was fine with that. But no, just be careful and just know that you have to take another route if you are going to be in that area. 9:43 here at WSGW. Dave Maurer talked about this during the news on the morning team show. Michigan has announced that the first four $50,000 winners in the sweepstakes that the state of Michigan is running to encourage more people to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. The winners were announced yesterday and will be followed by a $2 million jackpot, a $1 million prize, and daily drawings of $50,000 in the weeks through July 30th. Residents who have gotten at least one vaccine are eligible. Over 1.7 million Michigan adults have signed up for the cash prizes, and 78 what does this mean? Okay, that's not written very well. 12 to 17-year-olds have also signed up for 9 of the $55,000 scholarships. And as of Monday, the state has reached a 62.4 vaccination rate of residents ages 16 and older. And if you recall yesterday, I couldn't remember. I thought the number was around the high 50s, but it is 62% who have at least that is the state's vaccination rate here. So that's pretty good, actually. A lot better than what you're seeing in some other states, especially those southern states, which I think like Louisiana and Mississippi and a few others that are really, really behind on their vaccinations. Michigan is not doing too badly. However, though, I read in Bridge magazine that this drawing or this contest has not really done a whole lot to spur newer vaccines, or at least newer to spur people to go get the vaccine, those who hadn't gotten it already. So that's a little troubling. It seems like we're just going to have to maybe deal with 30% to 35% who just won't get the vaccine. 9:45, back with more right after these words. 752-6111 is the phone number to give me a call.
While you are out enjoying the summer weather, Associates in Eye Care wants you to remember to wear sunglasses with UV protection. Most of us acquire 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before 18, so it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration. Associates in Eye Care would like to welcome Dr. Engel, who is now accepting new patients. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kasmerg, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or Hemlock location, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Got gold? Got silver? Got coins? There's millions in cash waiting for you at the Bay City Town Center this Friday 10 till 6 and Saturday 10 till 6. That's right, millions in cash. The Midwest's largest buyer of gold and coins is here for a 2-day only event. Old gold, broken gold, bad memories gold. Gold in any condition. You'll get the highest price guaranteed. Now, if you have old coins, this is your best chance to cash in. A silver dollar could be worth more than $1,000. Pre-1964 silver coins are worth up to 1,000% over original value. That's right, 1,000%. So have the experts evaluate your treasures. There's no fee. It's free. Everyone's doing it. Remember, your gold up to $150 for class rings, up to $200 for chains, up to $1,000 for old watches, up to $1,500 for old necklaces, and up to 1,000% for your old coins. So if you've got gold, silver, or coins, bring it all. You'll be surprised. There's millions in cash waiting for you at Bay City Town Center this Friday 10 till 6 and Saturday 10 till 6. Everybody's doing it. Don't miss the opportunity.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I meant stone specialist to look at new quartz and granite countertops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net, or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists, bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
It is 9:40, almost 9:49 here. WSGW's Art Lewis Show. Pat Johnston in for Mr. Lewis. This show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all your residential and commercial realty needs, call Pinnacle Realty at 989-295-3900. I'll keep the phone lines open here for about another 7 minutes. If you want to give me a call, 752-6111. You can talk about anything you would like to talk about, and I am here to lend an ear and maybe an opinion here or there. I've been known to do that, from time to time since I've been, with WSGW since 2007. Wow, that was a while ago. Getting a little older. So anyway, 752-6111 if you'd like to give me a call. Saw this story, and I know it's something that Art has covered, but it's becoming pretty real now. Out of Miami, Norwegian Cruise Line is challenging a new Florida law preventing cruise companies from requiring passengers to show proof of vaccinations against the COVID-19 virus. The lawsuit, filed in a Miami federal court, contends that the law jeopardizes safe operation of cruise vessels by increasing risks of contracting the virus. Norwegian intends to restart cruises from Florida ports on August 15th with vaccinations required for all passengers. Norwegian wants a judge to lift the ban by August the 6th. The law imposes a fine of $5,000 each time a cruise line mandates that a passenger provides vaccination proof. And it says the law also names as defendant Florida's Surgeon General as and also the Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who signed that into law. Other cruise lines, including Carnival, Royal Caribbean, have already begun voyages from Florida with a variety of policies regarding COVID-19 vaccinations. So, I don't know. I guess that will be an interesting court case because, I was told for many years that government should never tell businesses what to do. And in Florida, you have the Florida Republican governor saying, business, we will tell you what you have to do. We, the Florida government, are going to tell you what you have to do. It's not your choice. I don't know. We'll see how that all goes down. Al is calling in from Midland. What's going on, Al?
Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
Hey, this George Floyd mural, I look at that as a graven image, a worship image, and the candles and all that stuff around there. Once that worship thing, or once that memorial is done, it ought to be torn down because it's a worship site to me.
Are all statues worship sites?
No. Just when you put the candles and all that stuff and you stand around and you hold candles as a memorial, that's a worship thing. To me, that's a worship thing.
Okay. But I mean,
I look at that as no different than the candles in the church when you're burning them and praying and all that kind of stuff. To me, that's a worship site. It's a memorial. It's a worship site. The statues that you talk about that are in city parks and stuff, those are not worship sites. There's no candles there. Nobody's worshiping them.
Oh well,
they're just an image to remind somebody of a historical event.
Well, those guys who carried around the tiki torches around the Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville, that seemed like, wouldn't you say that was glorifying a statue?
I don't know what they were doing with tiki torches. Maybe they wanted to burn it down.
No, they were against those all those guys showed up.
Oh, they were against tearing it down?
Yes, they were tearing. Yes, they were against it. Yeah.
But the problem is when you tear statues down like this, you forget about history. And one of our problems is we're not teaching history in schools anymore. And if you take all these statues out that are reminding people of history, how are people going to learn what happened? They're going to forget all this stuff.
They're going to
forget about what the Civil War was about and why we fought it. What the purpose was. There was a purpose.
What was the purpose?
We wanted to free the slavery. We wanted to get rid of slavery. That was the purpose.
Well, then why glorify all these Confederate...
No, they're not glorifying it.
That is glorifying it.
You think they are.
Yes.
I look at it as a way to remember history.
Al, most of those statues were erected during the Jim Crow era. They were put up there in the 19-teens and the 1920s. What was the purpose for that?
Okay, but to me, those are a thing to tell us history. I look at it as historical. I don't look at it as a monument or a worship site. There's no candles there. Nobody's worshiping that.
There are a lot of people worshiping those.
Well,
Those
they're wrong.
Those.
They're wrong.
All right.
I go with what the Bible says. Thou shalt make no graven images to worship. And to me, the Ford Memorial, that mural thing, is a worship site.
See, I'd rather get rid of the Bo Schembechler statue, personally.
Well, okay, but see, that's not that's a
lot of
historical
people,
thing too.
and a lot of people
Nobody's
glorify Bo.
worshiping that.
A lot of people glorify Bo. You have to admit to that.
okay,
you have to admit to that.
Well,
hey Al, I got another.
They revere him as a coach, but to me, it's not. I separate that stuff.
Ridiculous.
I have a way to compartmentalize and separate history from worship things.
Okay, hey, no problem. Hey, Al.
Some other people don't have the ability to do that.
Well, I'll let you go on that note. How's that? Okay.
Thanks, Pat.
All right, Al. Have a good one.
Nice morning, sir.
You too, sir. All
Bye
right, and let's take our last call here. We'll talk to Phil. Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Not too bad. They talked about that memorial in Ohio, but north of Dayton, it made national news several years ago. This megachurch had a bust of Jesus with his arms up in the air, and they used to call it Touchdown Jesus and everything. And I think it was 50 feet high or something. And it got hit by lightning and burned up to a crisp too. All was left was the ironwork.
Oh, is that right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, and I mean that was right in front of a church, And I mean it was like, well, that old guy was saying, hey, maybe we should knock that other one down. Well.
I'm going to choose not to comment on that. All right, Phil, if you don't mind. All right, have a good one there, Phil. But interesting point. But yeah, no, I'm not going to say anything there. Okay. Let's talk about poison ivy again. That was a much safer topic there. I enjoyed that. I'll say this when it comes to these statues. I always hear, this is history. Well, whose history? Whose history are Confederate statues? You go to Germany, you're not seeing any statues of Hitler anywhere. You're not seeing any statues of the Nazi regime. All right, you're not seeing any of that. And if you want statues, I'm fine with having Confederate statues, put up, in a museum. Gettysburg. My wife grew up just miles away from Gettysburg. She went there many, many times for school. She said she never wanted to take me there because she's seen enough of it. But what is it? It's fields, fences, and statues. Yes, because why? That is a historical place. That is why. I understand that. But having Confederate statues in certain areas and public squares, I mean, come on. We know what the purpose of them being erected in the first place was all about. Just put them in a museum, and then that's where kids and that's where adults can also learn their history, their American history. Oh, I could go on this topic for a long time. Maybe I'll continue this tomorrow, too. It is 9:56 here on WSGW. Thank you to all your calls. I appreciate it. Have to take this final break and be back to close things out right after these words.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell's Detroit area attorneys in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
Check it out, Leo. A roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look! Emo wearing sunglasses!
Lemo, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need.
Oh, yes. It is 9:59. That's going to do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up, Ric Antonio is going to replace me, and he's going to be talking with the Saginaw Spirit's Joey Battaino. I think they are going to talk hockey. So that's coming up next hour. I'll be back to do the Focus program with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. It is 10 o'clock here on WSGW.
And I'm looking for somebody come and help me.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The coronavirus is gaining new strength and reach in the U.S. An amped-up Delta Plus variant is showing up in some cities as infections rise again in 49 states. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky tells CBS this morning, with school openings on the horizon, it's critical to roll up a sleeve.
Really go and get vaccinated now so we can prevent what could happen in the fall.
Correspondent Jerika Duncan is in Nashville.
For the Graham family, COVID is a constant threat. 11-year-old Chase Graham suffers from respiratory issues and regular seizures. And while he's eligible for the COVID vaccine in November, there's no guarantee it will help.
Chase requires herd immunity. That's what he relies on to stay healthy. Every single time you have a not me attitude, you are saying it's okay for Chase to potentially become critically ill.
His mother, Tanya Graham, is worried about her state's low adolescent vaccine rates.
Hospital officials say almost all current hospitalizations are among the unvaccinated. A military base in Alabama is the first in the country to require soldiers to show proof of COVID vaccinations. Major General David Francis at Fort Rucker.
This measure is very important so that we can nip this in the bud and continue to protect our mission, protect our people, and protect the local communities.
For many parents, it's a godsend. Child tax credits, part of President Biden's COVID rescue package, hit bank accounts today. Mom of 5, Julie Page, who lost her job, will spend some of that money on her daughter.
We have a birthday on Friday, so we're hoping to be able to do something fun for her birthday that we otherwise probably wouldn't do.
Families making less than $170,000 a year will get monthly payments of up to $300 per child. Overseas, police in Western Germany say more than 40 people have been killed in massive flooding that swept entire homes away. Dozens of people are missing. In the U.S. West, wildfires continue to gain ground. Dee McCarley lives in Bly, Oregon, where flames have burned an area larger than New York City.
Flames were just coming at us, and the smoke was just awful. So we jumped in our vehicles and we scooted out.
Pandemic era words debut in dictionary.com. CBS's Wendy Gillette.
The Yeet Baby now has her very own word in the dictionary.
Yay, 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 yay!
Marley and her uncle Chris scored internet fame as she practiced her favorite word, defined as an exclamation of enthusiasm, approval, triumph, pleasure, or joy. More serious additions include long haulers, domestic terrorism, and ghost guns.
This is CBS News.
Indeed delivers great candidates fast. In fact, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. More at Indeed.com/credit.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Getting the entire troop to agree on a place to get some grub can be a real pain in the axe. Now don't go flying off the handle just yet, because the Lumberjack Restaurant has something for everyone to enjoy. Steaks, ribs, taters, mac and cheese, home-style grub that'll knock 1 or 2 notches off your belt just by looking at it. So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch, exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
Yeah, I want to play that new Michigan Lottery Instant game. You know, the one with the real easy name.
Cash game?
Yeah, it's like Bucks something. I think it's...
Cash game.
Yeah, you can win $1 million instantly. I want to say it's called Loot.
Cash game?
You know, the one that has over $44 million in total prizes. What's it called? Is it,
It's Cash Game.
No?
Yes, new Cash Game from the Michigan Lottery. Easy name, easy game.
Oh, I got it. No, that's not it.
And put some cash play in your day. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is, you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 75 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Authorities are on the scene of an undisclosed situation in the Whites Beach neighborhood in Aranac County. A heavy law enforcement presence is in the area, including personnel from the Aranac County Sheriff's Office, Michigan State Police, and the Saginaw Chippewa Tribal Police Department. The Genesee County Human Oppression Strike Team, also known as GHOST, has arrested 3 people in a child sex trafficking case. Police say 28-year-old Jerome Shane was using his 7-year-old daughter as currency in order to have sex with another woman. The investigation began after receiving a tip from a Mount Morris nurse regarding a 21-year-old woman with special needs described as vulnerable. Police began investigating 36-year-old Daniel Flowers, who the woman lived with, along with Flowers' girlfriend, 31-year-old Michelle Irwin. Police say Flowers and Irwin used a young phone. Shane allegedly sent the photos to Flowers in exchange for sex with Irwin. Flowers and Irwin are charged with distributing and promoting child sexually abusive activity, possession of a child sexually abusive material, and accosting a child for immoral purposes. They're being held on a $100,000 bond. Shane is being held on a $50,000 bond on charges of aggravated child sexually abusive material, using a computer to commit a crime, distribution and promotion of child sexually abusive material, and accosting a child for immoral purposes. A man has been charged in a July 7th shooting in Bay County. Police say 20-year-old Delano Wright III was in an argument with his cousin, 20-year-old Jeremy Shorter, possibly over money. Shorter left to visit his father at the Tuscola Motel on Tuscola Road in Portsmouth Township. Police say an SUV pulled up and fired several shots into the room. Shorter was wounded with non-life-threatening injuries. Wright was later arrested for the incident. He's been charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm, discharging a weapon from a vehicle causing injury, felony firearm, and other charges. He has a preliminary hearing July 29th. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
What if I told you you could save 50% off your monthly cell phone bill without sacrificing your service? This is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, and I'm talking about H2O Wireless. If you're with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, you're just paying too much. Listen to this. You can get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. That means the average person is probably saving $400 a year. You might use that to fund your emergency reserve fund or pay down some credit card bills or put some money in your retirement plan. And switching is so easy. You can keep your phone, keep your number. You just have to swap out your SIM card. You get the same great service you currently have, but at half the price. Right now, you can save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. That's pound 250 and say keyword get H2O to start saving today.
WSGW News time now 10:08. Macy's is looking to hire nearly 600 people in Michigan as part of a national hiring event today. Full and part-time positions are available for a variety of roles, including management, cosmetics and beauty, merchandising, and store associates. The hiring event takes place at stores across the state from 11 until 7 today. You can also apply online. After announcing its reopening last week, the Grace A. Dow Memorial Library's Books on Wheels used book sale will also be returning. WSGW's Ric Antonio has more.
The sale will now be located in the main lobby of the library, with a number of new categories being added to the selection of sales items, including large print, health, sports, and history. Prices will be remaining the same at $1 for paperbacks and $2 for hardcover. Patrons will be able to shop the used book sale during regular library hours, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Book donations, however, due to COVID-19 precautions, still cannot be accepted for the time being. For more information, you can contact the library by phone at 989-837-3430 or visit its social media pages. Ric Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan has been taking note of the increase of COVID-19 cases across the country due to the Delta variant. He's predicting a similar situation in Michigan by the fall, but Duggan says there's no place to get a vaccine more easily than in the city.
Anybody who wants to get the vaccine can get it today. We got walk-in sites down at TCF and in the neighborhoods, and there's no doubt in October and November in the regular flu cycle, the Delta variant is going to be very deadly.
Duggan says he hopes people will encourage their friends and loved ones to get vaccinated, as most of the people getting a shot now were convinced to do so by someone close to them. The Chicago Auto Show is getting underway as inventories at car dealers are shrinking due to the computer chip crisis. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Many of the vehicles on this floor are in short supply in dealerships. One notable exception, the Ram pickup, which is why their sales are up 31% so far this year. Marketing Chief Carl Lally says even though the plant that makes the Ram is down this week, they're doing all they can to protect that product.
It's a bit of an evolving market or dynamic, as I think everyone is acknowledged, but we feel confident that as we get through the summer, we'll continue to stay on track with our production schedule.
Pickups may be the most competitive part of the market these days.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the low 80s. Winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 64. By Friday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 76 degrees. And Saturday, mostly sunny with a high around 80. Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 85 degrees. Monday, sunshine, a high around 88. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 76.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. It's 10:12. This is the Art Lewis Show. I'm not exactly Art Lewis. I'm not exactly Pat Johnston either, but, next man up. I'm Ric Antonio in for Art Lewis today, and we've got quite a bit to talk about with a familiar face who those watching on stream can't exactly see right now. We've got an issue with that, but we've got the Joey Battaino play-by-play and communications. Well, why don't you try it yourself, Joey?
The official title?
The official title, the long,
Director of Broadcasting and Communications and Play-by-Play Broadcast.
There you go. So, just real quick to talk about the season that's coming up. Obviously, the last season was cut short in a way that not a lot of people want to think about anymore because it's over with. There have been so many things that changed. You got all these other sports that had to cancel games and cancel crowds in the first place. But let's talk first about, because we've got Dalton Duhart on as well. If you want to introduce yourself, you're on.
Hey guys, how we doing?
I don't think we can hear him right now, but we'll get him on in just a moment. But Joey, you said you had a bit of an off-season, if you want to call a year and a half an off-season experience yourself.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Back in March 2020, we were kind of in the same boat as the NBA. I think the NBA was the first professional league to cancel the rest of their season, and I remember we had a game that night in Windsor, and it was, I think our guys were about ready to get on the bus. I think everybody was down at the Dow Event Center getting ready to go, and me being the director of communications for the league, I was kind of told to sit back for a while at the office and might have to do a little bit of housekeeping here. Didn't really know what that meant or what was going on until we got word that we weren't going to Windsor, and that's kind of where it started from there. And so that was March, I believe, or something like that.
It was right around then.
Yeah, 2020, and then we haven't, unfortunately, we haven't played a game since. So we're obviously looking forward to getting back to it this fall in October. It's great to see that the league has a schedule and is working toward obviously playing games here this fall. The first month of the season we'll be playing our American rivals in the league, Erie and Flint, and I think that's again more of a precautionary tale just in case things.
That was something I've been reading on as well, that Canada is still being cautious about opening their borders up. Yeah, and that's a combined effort too, because the U.S. and Canada have to agree on what exactly they're doing. But you mentioned Flint and Erie. Those are the two most, you're playing them the most this season. 12 games apiece?
Yeah, so and again, it goes back to, just the first month of the season starting against them, and it's not just then. We'll be playing those two teams throughout the season, and, for our fans, I think it's going to be exciting because we obviously have a natural geographical rivalry with Flint, and it has, a lot of years between it. And with Dalton on. Dalton, not only has he been a part of the Flint-Saginaw rivalry, but his dad was also a part of the Flint-Saginaw rivalry as a member of the Generals, and then later in his career playing for the Saginaw Lumber Kings. So this family in general has had a lot of history with that rivalry, and it's just really cool to see it grow and to see it throughout generations and being able to connect with both fan bases that way, Saginaw and Flint. And Erie's a team we only see 4 times a year normally. But given the circumstances, we're going to see them just as much as we see Flint. And who knows? Maybe this is a team. They've been around 25 years. We've been around 20 years. We've never really had that real close rivalry with Erie. But maybe now, playing them 12 times, we'll get sparked there.
Well, then that's another American rival you'd always be able to bring in, too, because a lot of Canadian games that got cut because there's no travel back and forth. Was it from the East that they're not playing at all this year?
Right. So just to make things a little bit easier on the travel, and quite frankly, the cost of doing business. None of these teams made any revenue for the past year and a half.
Right.
So, does Saginaw want to have to go out to Peterborough, Kingston, and Ottawa if they don't have to? No.
Right.
So that it's twofold there. I think obviously they're trying to limit travel in the league, but also from a revenue or from a cost standpoint, they're trying to limit that best they can. So it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, not playing those teams in the Eastern Conference, and some of them closer than others. Obviously, like a team like Mississauga in the Toronto area, it's not that far of a drive, but not seeing them will be a little bit different. But again, it's cool, I think, to get those teams that are close to us a little bit more games and get them in front of our fans. And again, I think it can only increase the rivalry, especially between us and Flint. It's 6 years already, and it's amazing that it hasn't lined up. Like the two teams, like two years ago, last season, was probably the closest the two teams have been to being on the same level, competitively speaking. And I hope that continues here in the future, because that obviously makes it more interesting for the fans.
And now, because the season was cut short in March of 20, and I'd been trying to go to as many of those games as I could. I can't exactly go to as many as Art Lewis may be able to, but who currently has the I-75 Divide Trophy?
That would be Saginaw for the last 3 seasons now, going back to the 17-18 season. So, yeah, we've had their number as of late. They were rebuilding for 2 of those years, and then last year we were pretty close. I guess I should say last season.
Right.
We were competitively pretty close, and a lot has changed, Rick. Like,
yeah.
The team, there's so much turnover. Like the Ontario Hockey League's pretty cyclical as it is. There's a 4-year span on these players, sometimes 5, sometimes less than 4, sometimes as little as 2. So
and you were telling me before we got on today that some of the players, they're even aging out with these years off. They don't get to play their careers. I mean, at least the Ontario Hockey League career is cut short. Yeah. Some of them were lucky enough to get drafted by NHL teams,
right.
But those years of experience are just lost outside of practicing on their own.
Yeah, big time. You really feel bad. I think it was the 2000 birth year that never got to play their overage season, never got a single game in, and you feel bad for those guys. I've been in touch with some of those guys, just making sure everybody's okay, their headspace is okay, and I know our coaches have been in touch and staff, and it just really, it's devastating. But a lot of those guys have moved on now. I know one of those players, Danny Caddick, just committed to go to school at the University of Toronto, so he's playing hockey and furthering his education, which is great. It's all part of the OHL model, where obviously the goal is to get the players to the NHL, but not everybody goes to the NHL.
Right.
And so Danny's going to go to school and get his education and continue to play hockey. So that's just one example, one story, and hopefully we'll get into Dalton's here too.
Yeah, I want to talk to him just after the other side of this break that's coming up. I want to see how he's dealing with the, first of all, remote practice and dealing with things from home. And we want to talk about because when players were dealing with underage, when they were still in high school, the remote learning from not only the pandemic, but as a player, if you're out of state, if you're on the Saginaw Spirit and you're learning from, say, Ohio, Indiana, all these other states that are involved in the Ontario Hockey League, Erie even, how are you dealing with your home team, with your home school? So 10:21 on the Art Lewis Show. Again, I'm Ric Antonio. Art is out at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational golf outing today, having a great time. Looks like the weather may stand to allow them to play for the rest of the afternoon. I'm just looking out the window here, but we'll check in to see what we've got coming up. We've got the contest, as well as a talk with Dalton Duhart on the other side of this break.
The U.S. dollar is plummeting. Protect your savings against inflation with precious metals. I'm Dinesh D'Souza for Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold Group is who I trust to help you protect your IRA or 401k with gold and silver. With thousands of satisfied customers, an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, get a free information kit by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Again, text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Would you like to save hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars on your credit card payments? Then go to lightstream.com/news. That's the only place you'll find Lightstream's credit card consolidation loan, plus a special discounted rate for radio listeners. Pay off all your high-interest credit card debt at a much better interest rate. How much better? For radio listeners, as low as 5.83% APR with AutoPay and excellent credit. That's right. Pay off your high-interest credit cards and get a discounted rate as low as 5.83% APR with AutoPay and excellent credit when you go to lightstream.com/news. The only way to get this reduced interest rate is to go to this exclusive URL today, lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/NEWS to get this exclusive rate. Lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval rates with this discount range from 5.83% APR to 19.99% APR. It includes 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/news for more information.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street opening lower with the Dow and S&P on the downside of the start, but the Nasdaq not as weak as the Dow. The market is anticipating another day of congressional testimony from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on the economy and monetary policy. The latest jobless claims numbers come in at 360,000, a new pandemic low and a decrease of 26,000 from the previous week's revised level. It's in line with Wall Street expectations, and this is the lowest level for initial jobless claims since March 14, 2020, when it was 256,000. Morgan Stanley's profits rise. Second quarter earnings hit $3.51 billion. A boost in fees from deal making and advising wealthy clients helped the Wall Street firm. And Cintas, the uniform rental company, reports fiscal fourth quarter profit of nearly $268 million. Those results exceeded Wall Street expectations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal Grasso, invested in you.
You spent a long time tucked into your home, tucked into your auto-playing streaming box. Not anymore. Now you can untuck a road trip, untuck a Saturday tailgate, then untuck a Sunday tailgate too. Untuck whatever you damn well please. And if you want to look good while doing it, untuck with the shirt made for this moment. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Find your perfect fit at untuckit.com or one of 80+ Untuck It stores nationwide. Use code SUNNY for 20% off your first purchase.
Getting the COVID-19 vaccine is your shot to win. Michiganders 18 and older vaccinated between December 1st, 2020 and July 30th, 2021 are now eligible to win millions in prizes. Get details and enter at mishottowin.com. Subject to sweepstakes rules.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. There was internet outage. A lot of places. You know why? No. One single customer. The cloud computing company where the outage originated, blames the whole thing on a software bug that was triggered when one of their customers changed a setting. I'm just asking you, Robbins, did you switch a setting yesterday? You're known as technically, I did switch to single ready to mingle. Maybe that's what did it. I don't know. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll is about Powerball and Mega Millions. So starting next month, the multi-state Powerball, in which Michigan does participate, will add a third weekly drawing. Administrators are hoping it leads to more sales and increased jackpots. Stores selling tickets are offering mixed reactions. There's concern people will spend more on the lottery and less on store purchases. And there are reports who say that it won't be surprising if Michigan's Mega Millions game, right now twice a week, might go to 3 times a week too. So our poll question, what's your take on the Powerball and Mega Millions games, possibly increasing another drawing per week? Do you play regularly and you will increase your play too? Do you play regularly but you won't increase your play? Do you play when you feel like it, and so these drawings really won't be a big deal if they had one? Or you don't play at all, so you don't care. We're looking for your vote. Go to WSW.com, find the poll box, and vote that way.
I just want you to know, if we ever do win the lotto, Dave and Charlie, you guys will get one donut from me.
Oh, generous man. Holy cow. Well, that's a big step up from what you do right now. If I could throw one at you.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
It's time to play the WSGW Summer Cash Contest presented by RoofMax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is recipe. As in, Art Lewis used to host a show sharing recipes. Recipe, RECIPE. It's the Summer Cash Contest, a nationwide contest. One winner chosen each day, must be 21 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Again, it's the Summer Cash Contest. Presented by RoofMax on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. You can listen for words at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. So getting back to what we were talking about. We're still having an issue with Joey's camera, but we did get things figured out to talk with Dalton Duhart, and they're both on right now. Let me just ask Joey one thing real quick. As the players are starting to come back, they are moving back into the area.
Yeah, that's the hope. Right now, obviously, our Ontario players are...
They're kind of stuck.
Yeah, we haven't quite... I don't think
Right.
that's been figured out yet. But for like guys like Dalton, Mitchell Smith, T-Bone Todd, guys that are local to this area,
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to ask Dalton a little bit. I think those guys have been able to get together, have skates every once in a while, be around each other, which is great. These guys need that camaraderie. They're missing that, and it's good to see that those guys are able to do that every once in a while. So, we're looking forward to that.
And now that we've got him on, Dalton, if you want to give us just a little bit of how the pandemic's been treating you.
Yeah,
well, not necessarily the pandemic, but coming back to play.
Yeah. I'm definitely ready for it. Excited to get going again. And, I don't know, like Joey said at one time, we spent our whole life and evolving everything around you. So for now, it's a year off. You got to figure out what else is going on and kind of step back and think about for a second. So it was definitely a little weird, but I don't know. I'm just so ready to get going again. And honestly happy for getting there.
Yeah, returning to play is a good thing for everyone. Everyone wants to be back on the ice, back in the stands, and now that limitations here in Michigan have been lifted, then it's looking more and more like we're going to be geared up to get that going. We just need the Canadian travel restrictions lifted in order for some of those games. But Joey was telling me that you're actually heading into your overage season this year. How glad are you to be back on the ice as opposed to when some of these players that had to lose out on that?
Yeah, so extremely grateful to get that opportunity to play one more year. But I don't know. I am very grateful for that opportunity, but it is so hard. Like we kind of touched up on talking about the 2000s last year. He was supposed to be overage. It just feels terrible for him, like not getting last opportunity to showcase themselves, and whoever would have been, we had a lot of 2000s, so I'm not sure, but I know he would have definitely loved to have that chance. I'm happy to see some guys handing out after, like Danny example. Joey said, but I don't know. I am very grateful for the last opportunity and playing Zach with him and everyone and showcase myself. So.
And ahead of this season, with those games, all the games against Flynn, all the games against Erie, do you know any of the other guys on the other teams that you may already have a rivalry with going forward?
So a little bit. Obviously, we played Flynn a lot 2 years ago or last year, whatever that was. But obviously those games are always really special to me. I'm from Grand Blanc originally, so I grew up there, and that's a Firebird billet in high school. So I got to know a few of them pretty well before I even stepped into the league and got close to them. So straight away, those games were so fun. I mean, especially with my dad, like playing for the Generals for that long, it was awesome. Out of rivalries, I don't know about anything necessarily felt like
I know, and rivalries that's the point of the game at this point, getting back on. And Joey, you had something to say on that.
Yeah, Dalton, I just want to get into growing up here and seeing your dad play, and a legendary Flint Generals player, but also I don't know if everyone knows that he also played in Saginaw for a little bit too for the Lumber Kings. But just being around that hockey atmosphere as a kid and seeing your dad have so much success as a professional player here in this area, how special was that for you? And then now, 20 years old, the junior part of your career is almost over, kind of looking back on it, how much of a building block was that for you in your hockey career?
Man, unbelievable. I really don't think I'd be half as far as I am right now without I mean, even aside from the hockey side of things, like away from the rink and stuff, like if I'm worked up or something from hockey, he always knows how to calm me down. He's always been there for me, and he's always been a really good role model for myself, looking forward to and up to. And, he really has helped me a ton. He coached me for a long time growing up, so I got to take a lot of little things from him. And I don't know. There was just always a few messages that stuck with me, and I don't know. He's definitely proud of me, but I definitely don't think I would be where I'm at today without him. And I'm looking to keep growing and getting better as a hockey player and a person because of him. So.
Well traveled as a player, Barrie, London, and now here London, Barrie, and now here in Saginaw. How special is it for you to close it out here? I know this. Again, this is your area that you grew up in, and again, your ties, your family, and all that. How special? How much are you looking forward to this? Last go here being in Saginaw.
Yeah, so much. I mean, 45 minutes away from my house, the rink is. My parents come to every home game, most away games too. They make the trip too, but it's playing in front of family and friends like that every single home game. It really is special. It's a feeling you can't imitate. Like, it was awesome playing in London and Barrie in front of fans and really good friends, but like you said, being in Saginaw in front of family and people that I've grown up with forever, it's super cool to see them kind of follow my career a little bit and be able to be there and support me. So yeah, like you said, extremely grateful for the one more year and pumped about it.
So now a question for both of you, actually, both from a broadcaster standpoint and from a player standpoint. Looking forward to this game on October 16th, just looking towards that first game at the Dow Event Center, having fans in the stands. I know a lot of sports have had the option of, let's play games without fans or let's play games with limited fans. What kind of an impact is the number of fans having possibly full Dow Event Center going to have on either the play or on the effect of the game?
Go ahead, Dalton. As a player, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, well, I think for me, it makes a huge difference, man. I mean, those nights when Saginaw was buzzing last year, like, we really could build off it. And I know
they really did buzz.
Yeah, buzzing, like loud, man. It was so fun to play and just be there. But I don't know, players say all the time you can build off it. But, man, it's true. Like, when you got however many thousands fans screaming at you and getting you hugged up, ready to go, like, it really does get you going. So, I mean, it makes a huge difference. I mean, I think more fans, the better for us. I think it'd be great. I know all the Saginaw fans are itching to get out and see us play again, and we're itching to play in front of them, man. I mean, it makes it so much fun and that much more enjoyable to try to win and put on a show for them. So I think for me, it'd be huge. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I was joking around with some of my teammates earlier in the summer when we were skating and stuff, just saying, like, man, I don't even remember what that feeling is in front of fans, like just that rush and that energy that you get from it. So
yeah, it's like that walking back into the restaurant when there's people sitting there and walking back into the store without a mask at this point, and you just feel something's different now.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Dalton. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, yeah, you can go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
It's you don't think about it in the moment. Right, as a broadcaster, I think as a player, obviously you play off of, the energy in the building, the atmosphere. I think that's kind of instantaneous. As a broadcaster, it's something you overlook it.
It's easier to tune out.
Yeah, you're kind of in the moment. You don't really get to. But I will say there has been nights, especially in Saginaw over the last few seasons, we've been lucky enough to be an extremely talented team. And I'll look around and I'll remember what it looked like when I first came here in 2015.
Yeah.
And, we struggled to get 2,000 sometimes. And we were a team that was rebuilding at the time. And to see where we're at now. Taking it all in. And to be honest, it's going to be hard not to be emotional. Like,
yeah, the growth of the community in the first place, just like you were saying, struggling to get 2,000, and now having a packed house every game, and then going directly down to zero. Go. Well, it's tough to deal with in the first place, but coming back to the norm.
We're lucky that obviously things in Michigan have worked themselves out for the most part, and that's a testament to. Quite frankly, it's a testament to the citizens of the state that went out and got vaccinated and did what they needed to do and wore masks and made the sacrifices that they did make, so that guys like myself and guys like Dalton can do what we love to do and be successful at it. So and that doesn't happen without the commitment of the citizens of Michigan and this area, Saginaw County, all that stuff. So they're the reason that we're able to again hopefully do this on October 16th and move forward.
Yeah. And while we're still waiting to see how the season plays out, because we're glad to have it back, it's been up to the players, too. We're giving lots of credit to Michigan residents on getting shots, wearing masks, all this throughout the whole pandemic, getting things back to normal. But the players staying in prime physical condition, that's something that, first of all, we're going to have to see when they hit the ice. But them doing that on top of everything else is another challenge.
Talk about the player showcase that you guys did in Erie, and
Sorry, I lost the audio for a sec. Wasn't sure if you were still talking or not. But yeah, man, that showcase was great. In Pennsylvania, I can't believe how well it was ran. And just getting on the ice again, like you said, like it was so cool. There was probably like on average 3 or 4 players from every team, like OHL teams there, and it was competitive, man. 5 or 6 teams. We got on the ice. We got that real like hockey kind of game style again. And even though there wasn't many fans, there was a lot of scouts and everything was done super professional. But just getting on the ice again, picking up those habits again, it was great, man. I mean, there was definitely a first game or so, there was probably taking everyone a bit to get their legs back and their hands back and things like that. I mean, you can train and emanate the games all you want, but it's just a little different when you actually get into it and you got to make that split-second decision. It's your brain and everything just kind of has to wake up again and get used to it. So I think it was great. It was good exposure for all of us, and it was a lot of fun doing it and great seeing.
And you mentioned you mentioned scouts, Joey. Just one thing I wanted to ask about you. You were talking about players losing their overage season, but luckily getting drafted onto NHL teams. Can you talk about that just a bit?
Yeah, the hope is that if you do all the right things, they're going to find you. That's the mindset as a player. You know, there's times you get discouraged. You might get passed over in the draft, your draft year, things like that. But the overwhelming mentality is if you do the right things, they're going to find you. And luckily this past year we've seen that, especially with our group. And we've had a good team. That's been the benefit of this whole thing, is we've had a good team. So we've had scouts watching us every night. Now, maybe a scout showed up to the game to watch Cole Perfetti and decided, that, wow, like this Danny Caddick kid's not too bad either. That happens all the time. And so, it's moments like that, it's situations like that as a player, like you almost have to hang your hat on and trust in these situations that's what's happening for me. Maybe I haven't been on the ice, but, I have to trust that what I've done in the past was the right thing, and that those, NHL scouts or the important people saw, what makes me a professional hockey player. And again, Dalton can speak to that. I want to know, Dalton, first of all, this has been a tough year, and I know there's probably these guys are putting a lot of pressure on themselves through all this. Were you able to, what was your mind space? Like, were you able to take a step back and relax a little bit? Because I know there's a lot of anxiety that comes with this and where your career's going. But were you able to relax a little bit? I know in Grand Blanc there you got like Deal Heart in the backyard. Yeah. Were you able to ride the jet ski a little bit and just kind of decompose a little bit?
Yeah, I definitely was. But to be honest with you, I think it was a little harder for me at first. I think I definitely, and I know for a lot of us, I think we definitely had to do some growing up over the time and just kind of look ourselves in the mirror. But for the first little bit, I struggled. It was hard. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to prove myself. And I know how fast time goes. Like, man, it feels like just yesterday I was coming into the league as a 16-year-old, like not knowing anything about it. And now next year is going to be my last year. And it's just like, oh my goodness, like how did that happen so fast? But I don't know. I think I did calm down a bit. I think it was a lot of self-reflecting and looking at myself and just kind of thinking like, yeah, I do have another year left and I do got a bit of time before then. I could sit around and just feel bad for myself that I didn't get that other year, or I could work as hard as I can and do everything possible to showcase myself as the best as I can during that last season. So for me, it was just kind of like, I know my back's up against the wall a little bit, where as in my goal has always been to play in the NHL. It hasn't, I don't know, whatever. I'm definitely proud of where I'm at now and I'm pumped to where I'm at, but hasn't been the end goal. So I know for me, the last year and a half, like, I've just wanted to do everything I can to really put myself in the best situation to succeed and go as far as I can in my hockey career. So,
and it's really that drive and that commitment and that ethic, really, that you're talking about, the wanting to keep going and keep your eyes on the prize sort of thing, that makes the Saginaw Spirit as great as they are, as great as they have been over the last couple of years, regardless of whether they've been on the ice or not. I know there's a lot of things going on. You guys just had that book drive. Before we head into this break, do you have any update on that?
Yeah, the book drive went well. So I don't know exactly how many we collected, because that was a little bit that was our foundation was handling that, but it was great. The days I was in the office, we saw quite a bit of people dropping off books and things like that. So again, with COVID, it's great to see that we're able to do stuff like that again, right?
Yeah.
So it's great. It's a good charity component for our team, and again, like, we're gone for a year and a half, and Dalton can speak to this. We do so much in the community. Like, we ask a lot of our players, right? We ask a lot of our players. We understand that as an organization, but we also feel like, if you're going to play here, you have to be a functioning member of this community and give back. And this is all part of it. But there were fundraising efforts and things like that lost out while these players weren't here. Things that we would normally do.
And that's another look at this too, because even players aside, which is hard to say, players aside, it was the community events that the players and the team were helping out in the area that lost out during the pandemic too.
Yeah, and we're hoping to get back to that. Obviously, I don't know if we can make up for those that year past, but we're definitely looking to get back to helping out the
Things
community
ahead,
and the players have been great. Even during the stoppage, like players like Dalton, Smitty, the local guys have been awesome, helping us out, doing the things that they need to do, and they're pros, man. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. And then I have maybe just a couple more questions for Dalton, but we'll catch that on the other side of this break. 10:44 on WSGW. You're listening to The Art Lewis Show. Ric Antonio in for Art Lewis today. He's out at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational Golf Outing. The Art Lewis Show this hour sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial realty needs, you can call Pinnacle Realty at 989-295-3900. We'll be right back.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Hello, this is Carol Thomas, and I practice elder law. And I'm very excited to tell you about my upcoming seminars, which will be next Wednesday, July 21st at Apple Mountain. They're actually going to be ice cream socials. I had my first ice cream social a year ago, what was a huge success, so we decided to do a second ice cream social, which we actually are presenting next Wednesday. But what's very exciting about this, I also have invited a band. The band will be performing from 10 to 11. I will be speaking at 11 o'clock, and then we'll have a repeat performance in the afternoon where the band will play from 1 to 2 and I'll speak at 2 o'clock. It's going to be the Brush Street Band featuring Julie Melati, and they are fabulous and they play music from my generation. So it should be a fun day to learn a lot of information as far as wills and trusts and how I can protect assets for people, but it's also like welcome back. Art Lewis will be broadcasting from Apple Mountain that morning, so we will see you next Wednesday at Apple Mountain, but reservations are required, so please call my office at 793-2300.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says I'm a catch more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I'm a stone specialist to look at new quartz and granite countertops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists, bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
10:50 now on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. Again, Ric Antonio in for Art. We've got Joey Battaino and Dalton Duhart with the Saginaw Spirit here today, talking about the season coming up and how they've been dealing with the pandemic, or rather, I don't want to say time off, but, you know, no one's been playing, no one's been in the stands. I wanted to ask, obviously nothing too controversial, but I mean, how, if you can expand on it, Dalton, how has team activity been? Not necessarily practice or anything, because you weren't doing those, weren't allowed to do anything like that. But in terms of remote, maybe communication, maybe calls, texts, maybe, I don't know if you guys did any team video, any going through the book or anything. But tell us about how the team has stuck together and stayed on track through the whole pandemic.
Yeah, so our coaches have been doing a really good job at, we have Zoom meetings a lot, touching in on some video and things like that, or their playing styles on how we want to play next year. Or recently, in the past little bit, I know last week we had a guest speaker, Rico Phillips. He came on with us. He won the awards at the NHL ceremony the other day. What's that award called?
Willie O'Ree.
Willie O'Ree, thank you. The Community Hero Award. So it was cool having him on the other day and talk to us. I've known him for a while, which is pretty cool. But so just little things like that we've been touching up on and staying in, especially with everything going on right now. So I don't know, that's been good. And then besides that, like the Zoom with the coaches and stuff and just different video clips, I think last year, like, we were such a tight-knitted team, and we were all so close with each other that even when our season did end right away and when we weren't at the rink every day together, you know, we were still playing Xbox and FaceTiming each other and texting in our team group chat all the time, just making jokes and staying close that way. So it's kind of crazy. There's some guys like Drew and Jenks and Buzzy and some of those guys that I haven't seen in, 2 years, but I've had the chance to talk to them a lot and stay close with them. So.
And be surprised how connected people can stay with an Xbox alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but in terms of getting things back to normal, has the team, Joey, been able to have any in-person meetings yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
believe so.
Because I know things are still kind of easing their way back to normal, but
right,
rules and regulations by the league.
I don't think any of our Ontario guys are here. I don't.
Well,
think,
yeah.
I don't think any of our Ontario guys can get here. And for the Michigan guys, the Michigan State rules apply to those guys. So obviously, if they're vaccinated and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm not a part of the hockey ops side on that stuff when it comes to meetings and stuff. I know for me, I'm back in the office. We're kind of operating as back to normal, which is great to see. And I'm sure those things will come, and we'll see as the summer goes on how the OHL as a league will want to handle that, because I'm sure at the end of the day, like, the league is going to be the one making the decision about
who can talk to who can go where.
If there'll even be a form of a bubble or something like that, like the way the American Hockey League operated last season,
or even the NBA Finals last year, during the middle of when everything was starting.
It'll be interesting. I'm not quite sure. And you know what's funny about this whole not funny, but you know what's interesting about this whole thing is that come October, things will be way different than they are today. And just like it was in March of 2020, things were changing by the day.
Every single day.
Yeah, so now we're not in that space. Things aren't changing by the day, but things are still changing by the week, by the month, right? So it'll be interesting to see where we're at in October, or even closer, like let's say September, because that's when we would be having training camp and getting everybody back together. So let's see how this shakes out. And it's funny, that's still where we're at. Is let's see what happens. You know what I mean? After all this time.
Unfortunately, let's see what happens. But at the same time, by the time playoffs start, I sure hope things are back to starting the international travel and be able to make things happen again
by April 2022. That would be nice.
It'd be very nice if things stretch that far. But just one other thing I just wanted to ask, if ahead of the season, I know you're looking forward to every single game on the schedule, Dalton, but is there any one game in particular that sticks out to you, other than opening day, of course?
Probably those Flint games, just because, like I said, with my dad playing for the Generals for that long, he played in Saginaw for a bit too, but just not for the time that he did in Flint. So the Flint fans are got a little bit of loyalty to him, I think. So I don't know. Those games are always cool, and it's like 20 minutes from my house, so I always have like a huge section there, usually cheering me on. So that's awesome. And then right after the game, every single game, no matter how well I do or however the game goes, the first thing my dad says to me after every game is, "You count all the Jim Duhart jerseys up in the stands?" Never Dalton Duhart, but always Jim Duhart. So
there you go.
Probably those Flint games.
So I just wanted to thank both of you for stopping by today. Joey, thank you for stopping in. Dalton, thank you for jumping on the stream with us. We're glad to have you both in studio again. Art's doing other things, but he's all over the broadcast with you guys too, and we're glad that the partnership is still there, and at the same time still working things out to make sure we get things on air for the season ahead of this coming year.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm fully confident that Spirit Hawk will be back on WSGW come this fall, and again, looking forward to watching Dalton and all his teammates on the ice in October.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys both again for stopping by.
Cool. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
Yep. Have a great day.
You too, man.
And 10:56, we've got one more break, and we'll be right back.
When it comes to Total Farm Solutions, AGI has you covered. AGI offers complete system and solutions with industry-leading products to meet your needs. From West Steel and MFS storage bins, to Nico dryers, Westfield augers, Batco conveyors, and Hutchinson grain loops, to SureTrack for seed selection, planning, grain management, and marketing, AGI has the solution for you. Visit aggrowth.com for more information. That's aggrowth.com.
Since 1951, AGI Westfield has developed industry-leading portable handling equipment designed to be headache, hiccup, and hold-up free. Whether you're looking for the speed and strength of the MKX series grain augers or the gentle touch of a belt conveyor, AGI Westfield has what you need. Visit aggrowth.com/Westfield for more information. That's aggrowth.com/Westfield.
There are times when it's hard to ignore that you may have a gambling problem. Like when you're at the casino and you've withdrawn the maximum amount from your ATM.
Withdrawal
denied. When you can't leave the tables, yet you don't know how you're going to put food on the table. Credit card denied. When you can't seem to pump the brakes on gaming and then can't fill up your gas tank. Transaction denied. When you're so invested in gambling, you're not able to invest in your future. You're robbing yourself and those you love of a better life. Approval denied. Don't deny there's a problem any longer. If you or someone you love is struggling with a gambling problem, we can help you win your life back. For free confidential help, call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117 or visit michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
That'll do it for today. Again, I'm Ric Antonio in for Art Lewis. Top of the hour, you'll get CBS News, followed by the local report. We've got Ann Williams covering that. After that, on Focus, you'll have Pat Johnston back again for Art. And I'll be back tomorrow, 10 to 11. We'll be talking with Northwood University esports coach Cody Elson. Again, it's 11 o'clock.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. Government money is flowing into the bank accounts of more than 35 million families in this country. It's the expanded child tax credit from the pandemic relief bill passed in March. Comes at a good time for Memphis real estate agent Evelyn Mitchell-Irby.
Everything has increased, so at least being able to help put a dent in some of those bills will be great.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger on the numbers.
Previously, when we had tax credits, they were claimed at tax filing time. But this expansion changes that. Half of the amount will be divided into 6 monthly payments, $300 per month for each child under the age of 6, $250 per month for each child between ages 6 and 17.
The government says claims for unemployment benefits hit a pandemic low last week, falling to 360,000. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick.
Overall, there are still 13.8 million Americans receiving some form of unemployment assistance, down 372,000 over the past week.
COVID cases are rising in 49 states, and CDC Director Rochelle Walensky tells CBS This Morning it's a bad time for Tennessee to shut down outreach to parents about getting their adolescent children vaccinated.
Not only is it disturbing for COVID, but it's disturbing for all vaccine-preventable illness, which we really can't afford and don't want to see surging just as we're trying to tackle this COVID pandemic.
An inspector general's report blasts the FBI for missteps and delays in the investigation into USA Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar. One of his accusers, Jessica Howard, was on CBS This Morning.
Is not people messing up. It's people turning away.
Yeah.
It's people not paying attention. It's people deciding not to act.
One of the major fires in the West has torched 20 homes in an area larger than New York City in southern Oregon. Dee McCarley and her husband got out on time.
Gathered up what we could, got the cats, and the fire was right there. We could hear roar. It was like a freight train.
In South Africa, CBS's Deborah Patta says troops are mobilizing now to deal with deadly rioting.
Looters brazenly saunter down public roads carrying their bounty.
It's wrecked cars on the road. They've looted everything.
In this area, soldiers went door to door hunting for stolen goods. It was an easy haul. It appears just about everyone was guilty of stealing something.
Johnson & Johnson's recalling 5 sunscreen products after some samples were found to have low levels of a cancer-causing chemical. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 8 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Start your summer off right at United Financial Credit Union. From summer fun to summer savings, United Financial has everything you need to play big and save big all summer long. Looking for a new financial institution? We can help. It's easy to make the switch. Need money for a vacation? We can help. With personal loans as low as 4.99% APR and auto loans as low as 1.99% APR. Let United Financial help you with all of your financial needs so you can enjoy your summer. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to switch your accounts and become a member at United Financial, where we put you first. Stop in or visit our website for details.
Rates subject to change. APR equals annual percentage rates. Restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley communities.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get a Ultimate 2021 Fair Package for only $89.50. Don't miss the 40+1 anniversary of the Ogama County Fair, August 17th through the 21st in West Branch. The Ultimate Fair Package gets you 2 concert tickets to John Michael Montgomery on August 20th, 4 gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why do I love to work at Alpha Media Saginaw?
Awesome stations.
Fun work environment.
My work family. Endless opportunities.
Because it doesn't feel like work.
Hi, I'm Carrie Gustafson, General Sales Manager at Alpha Media Saginaw.
We are expanding our marketing department and looking for the right team player to continue to help local businesses grow through on-air and digital campaigns. We have an amazing staff and 5 awesome local radio stations. So if you want to get up every day loving what you do,
apply now at alphamediausa.com/careers. Alpha Media is an EEO employer.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
78 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Police have responded to something in White's Beach neighborhood of Aranac County. A heavy law enforcement presence is there, including the Aranac County Sheriff's Office, State Police, and the Saginaw Chippewa Tribal Police Department. We'll have an update on that situation when more information becomes available. A non-fatal shooting in Bay County has resulted in charges against a 20-year-old man. Police say the July 7th shooting took place at the Scola Motel on Tuscola Road in Portsmouth Township. Delano Wright III and his 20-year-old cousin Jeremy Shorter were in an argument earlier in the day, possibly over money, according to police. Shorter left afterwards, visiting his father at the motel. That's when witnesses say an SUV pulled up, and the men were in the room that they were in, and fired gunshots through the window. Shorter was struck by the gunfire and taken to a local hospital for treatment of life-threatening injuries. Police arrested Wright, who's charged with several felonies, including assault with intent to do great bodily harm, discharging a weapon from a vehicle causing injury, felony firearm, and other charges. A new manufacturing facility is opening in Bay County. SK Siltron CSS, which makes semiconductor wafers from silicon carbide used in electric vehicles, has plans to build a $300 million facility in Bay City. The company already owns and operates a facility in Auburn. The new plant is expected to generate an additional 150 jobs over the next 3 years, with 70% being skilled workers and 30% professional engineers. About 130 workers are currently employed at the Auburn site. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I meant stone specialist to look at new quartz and granite countertops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists, bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. It's a mistake by the state that could cost nearly 650,000 Michigan residents who are collecting unemployment checks. Charlie Langton explains.
So about 650,000 residents who received federal unemployment benefits related to the pandemic also received a letter from the state saying that they must re-qualify or risk paying back the money. Apparently, Michigan allowed laid-off workers to claim the federal benefit for unapproved reasons. And this man from Oakland County, he didn't want to give his name. He received about $20,000 in benefits, and he's upset at the system.
The thought of them coming to me and saying, we have to pay it back is going to be a bigger hardship for Michiganders than it was before COVID. And the state needs to understand they need to look at what they're doing because you know what? These officials aren't in our position.
Now, he only has about 20 days to get that requalification in. By the way, the state will determine if the benefits must be paid back, even if those benefits were received inappropriately. And a House Oversight Committee will be investigating this whole matter.
Charlie Langton, Michigan News Network.
3 Metro Detroiters are among the first winners of the state's My Shot to Win vaccine sweepstakes, running from July 1st through August 3rd. The sweepstakes aims to encourage more Michiganders to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Chris Ackerman of Detroit was among the winners of the daily $50,000 drawing.
This is all just came out of surprise, and I'm happy I got vaccinated because, first off, I'm safe, keeping my family safe, and now look, just want some money. So, Michigan, let's all get out here and get vaccinated, so we go back to a better Michigan.
Other winners in the $50,000 drawing include Amber Berger of New Baltimore, Adrian Peterson of Southfield, and Larita Lee of Wyoming outside Grand Rapids. The $1 and $2 million winners will be announced later. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today, with partial sunshine developing and a high into the low 80s. Winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 64. By Friday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 76 degrees. And Saturday, mostly sunny with a high around 80. Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high of 85 degrees. Monday, sunshine, a high around 88. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 79.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And good morning, everybody. It is 11:12 here at 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW, the Focus program. Pat Johnston in for Art Lewis. Art, of course, is not around here this week as he is working the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational Tournament, the LPGA tournament that's happening right now at the Midland Country Club. So Art is there all week, and I'm filling in for him. Charlie was here earlier. Ric Antonio filled in last hour. So, yeah, it takes a few of us to fill the only job that is filled by Art Lewis. He's that good. He needs three of us. But I'm going to host here for this half hour of Focus. And joining me here this morning on the phone lines is Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. And good morning, Ken. How's it going?
Great, Pat. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Well, you are the expert when it comes to anything insurance, as for home or property or auto. Let's start talking about auto insurance because on July 1st, there are a lot of changes to Michigan's auto insurance laws.
Yes, there was. The original law was passed in the 1970s, and through a lot of court case precedents, the law got stretched so badly that it eventually came to the point where everyone that was involved in an accident inside the borders of Michigan had unlimited medical coverage and 3 years wage loss. Didn't matter if you lived in the state or not, didn't matter if you had insurance or not. So I could live in another state, only carry $5,000 for medical on my auto policy, have no wage limit, no wage benefit coverage, and as long as the accident happened inside the borders, I now had unlimited lifetime medical and 3 years wage loss benefits. So you and I and every other driver in the state of Michigan was paying for that. So we ended up with the highest rates in the United States because there was so much being paid out in auto-related claims. So last year, the state finally passed a law to kind of bring things into more reasonable coverage so that now whatever insurance that you buy for health insurance, that follows you no matter what car you're in, no matter what state you're driving in. So if I'm living out of state and I come into Michigan, I only have $5,000 medical on my auto policy from my out-of-state insurance carrier. I only have $5,000 inside the state of Michigan now, too, instead of the unlimited medical. So there are some new changes that are going to be made this July. Were two big changes in the medical part of it is that when the law was passed in the 70s, it was passed and hospitals and doctors were being reimbursed on a reasonable and customary fee basis. And it got so that what's reasonable and customary to a doctor or a hospital is a lot different than what's reasonable and customary to you and I. The rates kept going up and up so that every health insurance carrier and Medicare changed to a fee-based schedule. So, for instance, if you had an MRI, then Medicare would reimburse you about $1,200 for that MRI. Doesn't make any difference why you had it. If you had Blue Cross, they would reimburse $1,700 for that same MRI. Because the auto insurance was still on the reasonable and customary fee basis, I've seen the same MRI done that was paid through an auto insurance carrier for $5,400. So the rates were really high.
Right.
So that now we're going to shift it to a Medicare-based fee schedule so that if Medicare, for instance, reimburses for $1,000 for that MRI, the most the hospital can charge the auto insurance company is 240% of that, or $2,400. So there's some caps on what can be charged for bills when it comes to medical-related claims. So anytime that there is a new law adapted or changed, there's going to be some people that benefit and also some people that are adversely affected. I think this is going to benefit everyone living in the state because it's going to bring some of the health costs back into line. So they can't charge 10 times what they would get reimbursed for Medicare. They can only charge 240%. Another thing that has really changed is that for people that have permanent injuries that are receiving coverage at home, if I'm a friend, a relative, a business associate, or anybody living in the same household as that injured party, the prior law only allowed coverage for 24-hour care for that person. Now, it's only going to allow 56 hours per week of home health care for someone that is a relative, friend, business associate. It does not affect you by commercial. If you're a commercial nurse that comes in, that doesn't affect that, only for relatives that live in the house. So that's the two really big changes in the auto insurance reform for this year.
Okay, and then there are different tiers of coverage that people can now choose from, right? There are a few.
Right. There are 6 options in the state of Michigan. So that Michigan is the only place in the world that you can still get unlimited lifetime medical benefit coverage.
Okay.
Meaning whether the cost is $10 or $10 million, the insurance company pays that. Or if you have other primary coverage or other insurance coverage, you can reduce your coverage to $500,000 or to $250,000. If you're covered under Medicaid, you have an option of reducing it to $50,000. So the first $50,000 in an accident would be paid through the auto insurance company, and then whatever balance of the claim would be paid through Medicaid. And if you have Medicare Parts A and B with a supplement, you can totally opt out of medical coverage under your auto policy. Then you're just stuck with whatever Medicare pays for an auto accident or an injury.
Do you think, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think there's still going to be a significant portion of Michiganders that will keep the unlimited coverage? They'll pay for that?
We're seeing, when the law first passed, there was a lot of people that were comfortable with unlimited lifetime medical, and that's where they wanted to stay because they were reducing their rates and they were still had unlimited medical.
Yeah.
We're finding that people, a year into it, people are evaluating it. So probably about 90% of the people we had before had stayed with the unlimited medical. Now they're taking a look at, maybe I have a Blue Cross plan that gives me a $5 million lifetime benefit for injuries. So maybe I want to reduce mine to $500,000 and I can save some money. So you see a lot of people that are maybe reevaluating that a little bit as time goes on.
Okay. There's so much information when it comes to these new auto insurance, the new auto insurance law. Is there a great place that people could go to find all the information, frequently asked questions or something like that? Where would you direct them?
I would direct them to their own insurance agent because I do a lot of continuing education. I have a lot of webinars and a lot of seminars for the insurance companies that I represent to try to keep me up to date on all the new laws and all the changes in it. So the first place I would ask people to go to is their own insurance agent because they should be reasonably knowledgeable of all the different laws. Because the state has a page on their website for all the new laws, but it's kind of, you almost have to be an attorney to really understand how they word some of the things on that because it's really dry language, it's really technical. So if I would suggest people to go first to their own insurance agent.
Right. Like somebody like you.
Yeah, like somebody like me.
All right, Ken. Hold on a second. We'll continue our discussion here. I'm talking with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance here on the Focus program. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about a couple things here with Ken right after these words.
The time has come to ask attorney Jerry Reif another question or two. First of all, a power of attorney. Is that enough for my estate plan?
Many people think having a power of attorney or a will is all the estate planning they need. While these two legal documents are important, they may not be enough for an effective estate plan.
Well, why is that, Jerry?
Well, let's look at what each of these documents actually do.
Okay.
A will is a letter to the probate court identifying who gets your personal and financial belongings, which is important after you pass away. A legal or financial power of attorney grants authority to someone else to make these decisions for you while you're alive.
Why isn't that enough, then?
Well, first, it's essential to also have a medical directive which grants authority to a person you trust to make health care decisions on your behalf when you can't. Second, a will may not be sufficient to protect all your assets. Third, depending on each individual situation, you may need all of the above plus one or more trusts or limited liability companies.
Thanks, Jerry. If you want more information, register for an upcoming workshop. Visit jerryreiflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 today.
What if I told you you could save 50% off your monthly cell phone bill without sacrificing your service? This is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, and I'm talking about H2O Wireless. If you're with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, you're just paying too much. Listen to this. You can get unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. That means the average person is probably saving $400 a year. You might use that to fund your emergency reserve fund or pay down some credit card bills or put some money in your retirement plan. And switching is so easy. You can keep your phone, keep your number. You just have to swap out your SIM card. You get the same great service you currently have, but at half the price. Right now, you can save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. That's pound 250 and say keyword get H2O to start saving today.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
My name is Dale Pazinski, and this is how I live United. I volunteer with United Way, helping the homeless in my community by teaching computer skills and helping them build a basic resume to save on their very own USB drive. It's huge when somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
On the next Markley, Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here to give you the killer deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Joyce's Purple Palette, Kitchen Kings, JB's Market, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, Beer Garden, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, buddy. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, apparently we had a couple spots we had to catch up with there, so it took up a little time. But Ken, we've got a couple minutes left, so I was just going to let you talk about a couple other things you want our listeners to be aware about here this morning.
One of the big questions I have is when people go on vacation, they take an airplane flight there, and then they rent a car when they are at their destination. They always call me and ask, do I have to take the collision damage waiver? What coverages do I have on that rental car? So I would say to them that they have the same coverages on a rental car because it's treated as a temporary substitute automobile as they have in the broadest coverage on their own policy. So if they just carry liability only on their cars under their own auto policy, they only have liability only on the car that they rent. So they always have to buy that collision damage waiver. Also, one thing that's not covered under an auto insurance company is loss of use of that auto, because a rental car, if it's in an accident, it goes in the shop, maybe they can't rent that car out for 10 days while it's being repaired, they can charge you for that loss of use for that car. And that's not a coverable insurance expense on your auto policy. However, there are a lot of credit card companies that do pick that up as an incentive for you to use their credit card to rent that automobile. So that's one of the big questions I have when people go on vacation in the summer. Also, for your toys, anything that is or has a separate registration should always be insured specifically in order to have liability and physical damage coverage, like a four-wheeler, golf cart, side-by-sides, jet skis, boats, motorcycles, dune buggies. Anything that is motorized that leaves your premises does not have automatic liability coverage nor physical damage coverage. It should be insured specifically, and you should always ask your own insurance agent what's covered, what's not, especially for all your toys.
Hey, Ken, if anybody would have questions for you, how can they contact you?
They can contact me at the Buck Insurance Agency. 989-695-2525, or Ken at buckinsurance.com, or www.buckinsurance.com.
Hey, time always flies whenever you're on with us here, Ken. So we'll talk to you soon again. Thanks again for everything.
Well, thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye, Pat.
Yep, bye-bye. That's Ken Buck there from Buck Insurance. We will take a quick break, close everything out.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Getting the entire troop to agree on a place to get some grub can be a real pain in the axe. Now, don't go flying off the handle just yet, because the Lumberjack Restaurant has something for everyone to enjoy. Steaks, ribs, taters, mac and cheese, home-style grub that'll knock 1 or 2 notches off your belt just by looking at it. So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch, exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Would you rather be just a driver, another employee, number on a spreadsheet, or a team member driving growth, friend to the face? If you want to be a valued member of a family that's growing and prospering every day, then Northern Logistics may be for you. Northern Logistics is now hiring CDLA truck drivers, both local and OTR. Northern Logistics offers great benefits, a strong emphasis on safety, 6-month bonuses, and a 401k match. Apply at norloworld.com. That's NORLO world.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com.
Yeah, I want to play that new Michigan Lottery Instant game. You know, the one with the real easy name.
Cash game?
Yeah, it's like Buck something. Buck, I think it's...
Cash game.
Yeah, you can win $1 million instantly. I want to say it's called Loot.
Cash game?
You know, the one that has over 44 million in total prizes. What's it called? Is it,
It's Cash Game.
No.
Yes. New Cash Game from the Michigan Lottery. Easy name, easy game.
Oh, I got it. No, that's not it.
And put some cash play in your day. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
All right, that's going to do it here for the Focus program. Coming up is Terry Henning and his Farm Service 790 show. Everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get an Ultimate 2021 Fair Package for only $89.50. Don't miss the 40+1 anniversary of the Ogama County Fair, August 17th through the 21st in West Branch. The Ultimate Fair Package gets you 2 concert tickets to John Michael Montgomery on August 20th, 4 gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, break time? I know you. I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW Rogers.
Swinging a fly ball to center. This one's deep, and it's off the top of the wall and gone! Oh, man! Jake Rogers, grand slam home run in the 9th. Wow!
Tigers baseball, brought to you in part by
Ed Raymond and Sons in downtown Chesaning.
Woolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Mostly cloudy, good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Kind of a busy day around these parts. We're looking at a whole lot of things going on in a pretty short period of time, so we're going to get right to it as far as the farm program goes. We are going to be talking a little bit later on to Scott Bales. Scott is with Michigan State and has been working with the dry bean group, and we've got some issues going on with the dry beans, just like we did yesterday as far as the soybeans go. So a whole lot more coming up on all of that. But for right now, we have mostly cloudy skies, 78 degrees. Humidity is right now at 70%. It's sticky. Southwest gusting to 32. Here at Radio Center, we do have a little bit of light rain, not much, 77 degrees. Midland also light rain and 74. A little bit of light rain in the Bay City area. It's currently 78 degrees there. Sunshine in southern Michigan. Grand Rapids, though, has got a rain shower, and it's drizzling right now over in Ionia. Muskegon has some light rain, but all along that southern tier of counties, they are looking at sunshine, but that's going to be short-lived. The frontal system that's generating all of this is dropping down ever so slowly. So it does appear as though as we move into the afternoon hours, we are going to be looking at a little bit better chance in southern Michigan. And that chance of precipitation is going to continue not only tonight, but during the day tomorrow, because another system is going to be approaching. The front that's dropping down through is going to stop right at the Michigan border and begin to work its way back up. But a high-pressure system, which is currently over Minnesota, is going to be dropping into Wisconsin and the western side of the Upper Peninsula, and that high is going to keep us from getting much of any in the way of precipitation as we move through the daytime hours tomorrow, and it is going to generate a really nice weekend for us as we go through Saturday, Sunday, and the work week next week, for that matter. Low pressure system, as I said, right now is one of them is moving through northeastern Wisconsin, through the eastern part of the Upper Peninsula, and that's the system that's dropping the cold front or the wind shift line really down through the state, because we are going to be looking. Currently, we do have a southwest breeze. It is going to become more westerly as we go through the afternoon, gusting to 30 miles per hour. And then tonight, close to midnight, the wind is going to be coming out of the north. But the temperature isn't really going to reflect it, because we're only going to be looking at a low of 63, and what's average is 61. So we're still running above normal. So the forecast, 77 degrees, 78 degrees. That's about as warm as we're going to get, and that's where we are right now. Sun, but now clouds as we go through the afternoon. Widely scattered shower activity as that front drops down through the state. Scattered till real late tonight, then clearing after midnight tonight. 63 for a low. Sun will set this evening at 9:15. Rise tomorrow morning at 6:10. Then during the day tomorrow, 75. So just a tad cooler, but not much. We're still not going to be looking at a decrease in the humidity because there will be some clouds around early. Scattered shower activity, the best chance of all of that is going to be southern Michigan, south of the 96, 69 corridor. At least that's what it looks like as of right now. And it's going to try to bubble up later in the day on Friday into Friday night. But I think that high-pressure system to the north of us is going to push the front and keep it from coming up any further north. Then on Saturday, spotty showers early. Again, southern Michigan, the best chance, warmer. 80 degrees for a high on Saturday, 60 for a low. Then on Sunday, we're going to be looking at 86 with mostly sunny skies, clear skies Sunday night, 62. Then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mid to upper 80s all 3 days with mostly sunny skies and low temperatures in the 63 to 65 degree area. Long range to take us through, can you believe it? It's July the 28th that we're talking about for a weather forecast. I have no idea where this month has gone. Above average temperatures through the entire period. Slightly below average as far as the moisture goes. Record high in the state, 98, set back in 1931. The record low, 46, set in 1987. And a year ago was a warm one. 88 was our high, 69 was our low. That's a look at what's going on as far as our weather goes. Chris Weiler with the Andersons is going to be joining us in just a moment. We'll take a look at those prices and see if he can keep the ball a-rolling in the right direction. He comes along, plus, as we said, a lot more. But first, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. They want you to be prepared for just about anything and everything. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency can help you. You know, it's called risk management, where you take advantage of the good things and you defend yourself against the bad. It's pretty easy. All you need to do is know and talk to somebody who knows what to do. And that's what the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency can do for you. Hail insurance in particular, very reasonable cost, added protection. Might be a very good idea to contact the Sarr Agency today and get that taken care of. Get these crops secured because you've worked a hard journey so far to get them where they're at. You don't want to lose them because of that. They are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. The agency agents can be reached directly on their cell phones for emergencies or for questions. The office number, 989-868-4722. That's the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Chris Weiler over at the Andersons in Hemlock. Chris, what is going on in Chicago right now?
Well, kind of playing the weather markets right now. We did start off. We were trading off the highs. So at one point, wheat was probably about a nickel higher than it was here right now. Beans were 15 cents higher. Corn we're probably a nickel off the highs. I mean, like you said, weather, like you just talked about for the state of Michigan, weather's the game right now. I mean, there's still good chances for rain this week, but they've missed some parts of the northwest belt. So there's some dry areas that are definitely wanting rain for some of the extended forecasts, but here locally, we're getting plenty of it. And I mean, I heard you mention dry beans and soybeans. Our gut is that you've probably taken 10% off the Michigan bean crop, just as wet as things have been. We're seeing the same things down here in Northwest Ohio. But the corn seems to be, I haven't really heard any areas locally or out in Michigan that are having issues with corn. It looks pretty good.
It looks really good in a lot of areas, and I know there's some tar spot issues in certain parts of the state right now. But boy, the stalks look so healthy this year. I don't think the kernels, I don't think the cobs can really cannibalize too much of the stalk right now, the way it looks.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as what the board's doing, we got spot corn right now, 643 3/4, new crop at 510, old crop beans at 1427, new crop at 1327, and red wheat at 620, white wheat at 620. Yeah. So it seems like most folks have a good chunk of their beans on, and the way the crop looks, like if you got them half sold, you're probably okay. Corn, again, if prices are still profitable and it looks good. So,
no, we'll just keep the ball rolling.
Yep. The roller coaster is going to keep going this summer.
I got a funny feeling you're right there. Chris Weiler, thank you.
Thanks, Terry. Take care.
You bet. Take care. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer has the latest. The market report brought to you by Hudson. Agriculture brings everyone to the table. Hudson, Michigan's John Deere dealership, is proud to support the local dairy, fruit, poultry, beekeeping, floral, beans, corn, and Christmas tree farmers who work tirelessly to make Michigan the #1 in asparagus, tart cherries, black dry beans, and cucumbers for pickles. And the market report also brought to you by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese. They are offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans, so call them for a quote today. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. They're trying to work wheat, right? It's up 1.5%, so we'll see if they can get the corner on that. Everybody else is down just a little bit. Crude oil's down just a little bit, and that's kind of strange because we said that the stocks were tightest they've been in 18 months, and Saudi Arabia came out and said, well, we see demand going up for the next 6 months to a year, so who knows? I mean, that's words versus actions, I guess. And this morning the stock market was down pretty good, and Evans Powell talked all morning. He's still talking, trying to get it back up, and he's got it coming back a little bit. And then Evans started talking, and he's helping out. So I don't know. They got their agenda, and that's what they're all about. So anyway, here's your numbers. The September corn is 563 3/4, down 4.5. December corn 555, down 3 3/4. August soybeans 1446.5, down 6.5. November soybeans 1377.5, down 5 3/4. The September wheat 665, up 10 3/4, and December wheat 672.5, up 10 1/4. Crude oil is 72.84, down 29 cents. Heating oil 213.30, down a penny. Gasoline 227 1/4, down 2 cents, and natural gas 368.8, that is down a penny. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2548 at the border. That's showing strength in the U.S. dollar. That's up 42 ticks. The yen is at 110.04, up 5 ticks. The euro is at 118.10, down 25 ticks. The dollar's at 92.55, up 14 ticks. Gold's at 1824.90, it's down 10 cents. Silver's at 26.31, that's up 6 cents. Platinum's at 1142.90, up $16. And then I checked the lumber contract again, just curious again, and I see it traded at 612. So that's quite interesting. That's getting really close to almost a 1-year low.
Yeah, that's settling down pretty good, really.
Big time, yeah.
Because I think the last time we talked about it, you had mentioned something about 4 something, and that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, good news. Looks like that kitchen is on the horizon now.
Fun for your money.
Yeah. Doug, you take care. Have a great day, all right? Farm Service brought to you today by the Frankenmuth Credit Union. You know, they've got lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. You can find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Scott Bales joins us in a moment. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Incidentally, we are out and about here for pretty much the rest of July. We are going to be at a number of festivals and fairs. Munger Potato Festival, of course, that's coming up the end of the month. Tuscola County Fair, that's coming up the end of the month. We're going to be giving away potatoes. Yeah, in Bay City, potatoes, potato chips, compliments of the volunteer firemen. That will be coming along next week. We're going to have details on that up in Bay City. And if you go online, you can check out our Michigan Fruit Pie competition, which is going to be held August the 3rd. That's opening day at the Saginaw County Fair. We want you to bring Grandma's favorite fruit pie recipe or your own. And I don't care how old you are, guys, gals, you name it. You got a favorite fruit pie and you want to win some money? All the details are online. You can go to WSGW.com or you can check out the WSGW Facebook and get all the details and enter that pie. Enter the recipe for the pie contest. Again, the Michigan Fruit Pie Competition. Cash prizes will be given out by Star of the West Milling. So we're looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. Judging is going to be at noon on August the 3rd. Along with me, Scott Bales. Scott, good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing wonderful. Thanks for having me today, Terry.
You're out on the road today, and I understand that you're seeing a little disease pressure, fungal pressure out there right now in some of the dry beans.
It's definitely something that we have on our radar coming forward. You know, we've talked a lot this morning about the amount of rainfall that we did have, and it's really set our bean crop up to have some pretty good potential going forward. These beans we didn't lose to the excessive rainfall. But we're in that window where the early planted part of our crop is starting to flower, and we definitely want to make sure that we're out in those beans, keeping an eye on them, and that we don't miss that application window for our white mold sprays. And that window starts at R1, or what we'd call one blossom on every plant, and kind of continues out to R3, which is where we start to see those first pin pods on those early blossoms.
So at this stage of the game, hopefully the fields are dry enough to get in. Spraying application, again, that window, it looks as though it could be kind of a narrow window this year. What do you think?
That's for sure. That's always the challenge of it, and that's where the art meets the science, so to speak, as we look at our weather forecast and we try to predict where our beans are and when we can get across them. And typically that peak application window is only 3 or 4 days long. So we definitely want to keep an eye on our beans and the weather.
Now, from what I understand, and this was according to the Michigan Crop Weather Survey that came out on Monday, it indicated that dry beans, we were seeing some deterioration because of water damage. What have you seen so far, Scott?
We definitely did experience some water damage in our beans over the past few weeks. I think early last week we were probably at our low point, and the majority of the crop has rebounded since then. It's one of those things where we do lose our low holes every now and then, but the moisture was needed in the rest of the field and hopefully did us more benefit than harm. So we'd like to see that crop condition number continue to improve in weeks going forward.
As far as improving goes, is it just going to have to be sit and wait? Should guys be cultivating, breaking up the soil a little bit? What should they be doing?
Unfortunately, a lot of it is the kind of sit back and wait mentality for it. With rolling fields, with our modern direct harvest systems, it's not often we want to bring a cultivator back into that field. With some of our colored beans, our kidneys and cranberries, we do cultivate, and that does definitely help with the root rot that we have seen. But then again, some of our new varieties that are more upright that we direct harvest have shown the ability to grow out of some of those root rots much better than varieties of years gone by.
Scott, thanks a lot for keeping us posted. I really appreciate your input, and feel free to give us a call anytime, okay?
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Scott Bales, working with the Michigan Bean Commission and a researcher at Michigan State University.
Hi, I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Buick Ambassador, where it's time to congratulate all of the customers who listened to our ads, contacted us, and were able to reserve inbound vehicles and take delivery as soon as they arrive. In June, customers were able to lease or purchase almost 100 new Chevys, even though the dealership never had more than 8 or 10 in stock at one time. So now the good news is that we now have close to 100 cars and trucks on their way and almost 100 more getting built. But don't let your guard down. Call us, text us, or drive out and reserve your next Chevy. Loaded four-door Silverado pickups, still only $286 a month. Loaded Blazers, still $275 a month. And that's still with zero down. That's Cook Chevrolet Buick, M15 Top of the Hill Ambassador.
Payments based on 36-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. Call or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com.
Cook GM Superstore.
Chevy, find new roads.
Just to give you an idea, that crop report that we talked about with Scott Bales, corn condition here in the state improved significantly according to the report. Where rainfall was prevalent, 73% of the crop was rated good to excellent as far as corn goes. Soybean condition improved slightly. 64% of the crop was rated good to excellent, and near ideal growing conditions were reported in some areas in the state, contributing to the rapid progress in blooming, according to the report. As we said, the dry bean condition continued to deteriorate. Water damage from the previous weeks became apparent. Roughly 18% of the dry edible bean crop in the state was in the poor to very poor category for this report. Winter wheat showed swift progress as a large portion of the wheat reached full maturity. Harvest, for the most part, was done in some areas. Hay producers worked to finish first cuttings as second cuttings were ongoing. Although the second cutting progress was ahead of schedule, conditions for haymaking were challenging over most of the areas. Combination of precipitation and high humidity, according to the report, delayed mowing and drying alike. Other activities, and Scott mentioned it, and a lot of our experts over the past couple of days included scouting, spraying, and mid-season equipment maintenance. We'll be right back.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need, from carpet to lighting. It's all here, with quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
It's all about new parts for old tractors. Steiner Tractor Parts. They've got the parts for you. They got a huge warehouse that's full of all those new parts for old tractors. Give them a call, 800-234-3280, or go online, steinertractor.com. Let's slide over to Baird & Company. Steve Anderson joining me right now. What's going on in New York right now, Steve?
Well, right now the markets are mixed. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average ahead by 20 points, putting it at 34,955. Volume is 316 million shares. The NASDAQ is down by 98, putting it at 14,546 on volume of 349 million shares. Locally, we've got reasonable amount of green. We got Caterpillar 212.62 up 98, Deere 347.55 up 198, CMS is 60.85 up 38, Dow 62.54 up 22, DuPont 79.21 down 30, Corteva 42.88 up 22, GM is 57.42 down 59, Trinzio 56.23 up a nickel, Walmart 141.36 down 19, Home Depot 320.57 up 135, Huntington Bank is 14.31 up 22, and AT&T is ahead by 18 cents at 28.44. So that's what we got today, Terry.
Thanks a lot, Steve. We appreciate it. Steve Anderson.
For 33 years, the Bader family has been proud to be your local John Deere dealer. Starting in central Michigan and growing to 10 stores from southeast Michigan to the bridge, we are happy to announce the transition to another great organization. Going forward, Hudson Inc. will continue to provide the John Deere experience you can rely on for parts, service, and sales. The Bader family thanks you for all your business and wishes Hudson Inc. the very best.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. They have that Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum that'll make your diesel engine purr, and efficiently as well. Foster Blue Water Oil. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kaith, and millions of parents are starting to see more money in their bank accounts as an expanded child tax credit takes hold. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says for some families, it's going to make all the difference.
It's pretty much paycheck to paycheck since this pandemic started.
Julie Page and her husband lost their jobs during the pandemic. She says the new child tax credit can't come soon enough.
Back to school is coming up, so all the kids are going to need, clothes and shoes and things like that.
Families making less than $170,000 per year, or single parents making less than $95,000, begin receiving monthly payments. That's as much as $3,600 a year for each child under 6, $3,000 for each child between 6 and 17.
Is there anything to rumblings in Washington about a possible Supreme Court retirement?
82-year-old Stephen Breyer hasn't decided on when he'll retire and is satisfied with his role as the court's most senior liberal justice, he tells CNN. It's his first public comments on calls for him to leave the court and allow President Biden to nominate a young